there's some things on my mind that are correlative to what you were saying about certain people saying, this is not right from RVBey, and that's not right. And I realize I'm gonna be honest completely. I just want to get this off my mind. Um, all right, so let's look at this, right? Noble Drew Ali said the media is one of the most powerful weapons or tools that is in the hands of us today. And he was saying this in, the early 1900s, the 1920s. You know what I'm saying? And think about it. Back then, media wasn't so accessible as it is right now. So, like, the biggest weapon in our hands is actually on steroids right now, or has evolved, enhanced. And with this being the case, you got a lot of house Negroes, excuse me for explicitly saying it like this, that put on fezzes and then turn their backs on Moors. And I got to be real specific. Sanetta, Taharka Bay, these lames who have blatantly knew the truth and turned around and disrespected Moors. And they mad because they say, Moors say we not black, but they got people, and they say it themselves, deaf to the Negro. But Negro and black mean the same exact thing. So that's not a valid premises. And send this into them. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Y'all could cut this out, excerpt this part. I really mean this. So that's not a valid position. Now, I don't know. I stopped watching a lot of yellow journalists. Shout out to Cujo for bringing that to the attention. You know what I'm saying? But I see a certain slander campaign that has been going on, and these heads could be taken with one swipe of the scimitar. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, they're just talking heads, and the shit that they say is definitely going to come back to bite them. Example, in case in point, you got a lot of house Negroes who don't have shit to talk about. They don't have information. Thus, all of their videos is them sitting directly in their house like house Negroes talking shit. Excuse my expression, but not really. It's them sitting directly in their house like house Negroes talking shit. Excuse my expression, but not really. It's them sitting directly in their house like house Negroes talking shit. Excuse my expression, but not really, okay? About Moors, Taj, RVBey, that they got all this right and exact information, and, we've been doing it wrong type of thing. And it's just sad that these people have nothing to talk about to the point where they try to destroy, you know what I'm saying, those who have been putting out truth, not even falsehood, truth and facts that they haven't seen, been projected on a wave like it has been today. In acknowledgement to everybody who came before, I was even born. Salute to you all. But, like, the shit y'all be saying sometimes, I don't get it. Like, trying to bash Moors, trying to defame Moors, slandering Moors. I'll give you a case in point. I heard a clown say that they wanted to see RVBey, manifest, we can't talk about a nation because, we just want to see one street, one block. That's how foreigners think in other people's homeland. Like, we home, North, South, Central America, all of it we talking is ours. The nation is ours. I mean, I've seen projects, you know what I'm saying, neighborhoods, communities where there is nothing but Moors. bottom line. And the fact that, whether they was conscious or not, that we've seen how the mentality of conquered Moors has trickled down to where, everybody can live in the same quote-unquote project and block and all of this. That's already happening. I want to come, I've been in everybody's city, and you know what I'm saying? I see the fact that, Moors collectively in ghettoized communities that Europeans used to be tenants of, right, now are, quote unquote, their landlords. And I don't think it's just to put it on any one person, whether it had been Noble Drew Ali, because the claim was, oh, well, Noble Drew Ali had everybody living in one community. That's not national mind state, because nationality transcends borders and blocks and streets and all of that. So to even try to put the prophet in that category, because he was saying that there was temples open in 15 different quote-unquote states. He didn't focus on one city and say this is the example of nationality. That's what foreigners do when they move into lands that are not theirs. As Prophet Noble Drew Ali stated, chapter 47 of the Holy Quran, the Moorish Holy Quran, Circle 7, clearly states the geographical boundaries of the Moroccan Empire are ancestral estate, which correlates with status. Status and estate are synonymous. So to take the position like, you know what I'm saying, we need to buy our own land back is asinine. It defeats the purpose of Prophet Noble Drew Ali even waking us up to nationality. And I'm not the one to be like, the world owes us everything. We do owe ourselves a lot. But nonetheless, it defeats the purpose of nationality to feel as though you have to buy what's already yours back. That right there, when you see that, you know what I mean? Because we're talking bloodline inheritance, connection to the land. You don't see Chinese in China talking about we need to buy everything in China back. From who? It's their ancestral estate already. And if you want to go deeper than that, it's Moors too. You know what I mean? If you want to be anciently, accurately, politically correct. All right, but we're talking about for modern day purposes, you know what I'm saying? You don't see them do that. They more so internally independent, autonomous, thus able to interface with other nations, period, on national principles. So, only a retard will look to buy back what's already theirs. You know what I'm saying? And Noble Drew Ali said, I brought you the title to your vast estate. So, you know what I mean? If that's the case, right, and you're recognized to a land by the appellation that you bear, you know what I'm saying? And then it's in being yourself. How did he begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? Not members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, but how did he begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? By teaching them to be themselves. And mind you, when Prophet Noble Drew Ali kicked this thing off, he wasn't just limited to an institution, like to one building. He moved throughout the land. So that's like saying, if everybody got to move to quote-unquote Baltimore for you to believe about nationality or to have a certain demonstration, you know what I'm saying? That would be equivalent to saying that Prophet Noble Drew Ali failed because he moved westward out of so-called Newark, New Jersey, to go out to the Mecca. You understand? But don't ever forget where he started at. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. So when you have Moors who take these childish points of view because they need attention, I don't know where their women is at. I don't know if they get attention from women or attention from YouTube, but they need it from somewhere. You can tell that very clearly because it's homoerotic to continuously try to discredit other people, specifically women. That's some homo shit. I'm not used to that. I know, like Barack Obama said, to tell her how we suffer, or how James Baldwin said, how we suffer, how we delighted, and how we make triumph is never new. You know what I'm saying? But that's relative to the women. But to consistently try to bring down sisters, you have to be homoerotic or not have received reciprocated love from the Creator. Because these dudes worship other men. Because it's homoerotic to continuously try to discredit other people, specifically women. That's some homo shit. I'm not used to that. I know, like Barack Obama said, to tell her how we suffer, or how James Baldwin said, how we suffer, how we delighted, and how we make triumph is never new. You know what I'm saying? But that's relative to the women. But to consistently try to bring down sisters, you have to be homoerotic or not have received reciprocated love from the Creator. Because these dudes worship other men. Because it's homoerotic to continuously try to discredit other people, specifically women. That's some homo shit. I'm not used to that. I know, like Barack Obama said, to tell her how we suffer, or how James Baldwin said, how we suffer, how we delighted, and how we make triumph is never new. You know what I'm saying? But that's relative to the women. But to consistently try to bring down sisters, you have to be homoerotic or not have received reciprocated love from the Creator. Because these dudes worship other men. They want to be just like other people. And don't get me wrong, I get inspired by a lot of our brothers. I salute all great Moors, and I mean that. You know what I'm saying? When I see Moors doing good and doing great, I get inspired, man. That's how it's supposed to be, because we're like cells in a body. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if it's something foreign that enters a body, there's going to be a group of cells that congregate to rid out the foreign substance in that particular body. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say that there's a collection of activity that oust out foreign activity. You know what I mean? And they inspire each other for a common goal to get rid of the foreign entity that invades the body, or the body politic, right? So I'm seeing it like that, and I'm like, as much knowledge we've absorbed, as much great master teachers that you claim you know, that we know you know, we've seen them come on your platforms and all of that. How dare, you know what I'm saying, you act like you have nothing else to talk about, So case in point, even with Sinetta, who is Taharka Bey's daddy, 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 I say that like that. He had to come out and come clean about this, about some of the stuff he did, and I have no firsthand knowledge of this, but it's a case in point that everything you hear isn't always true. And what do I mean by that? When those accusations with Bambaataa hit, I know as a Moor, I never heard of those. I never, as many years as we've been attending the class, I never heard of anything like that about Bambaataa. I was surprised when people told me that they did hear about that before. I'm like, well, damn, why was nothing said? I never heard of anything like that about Bambaataa. I was surprised when people told me that they did hear about that before. I'm like, well, damn, why was nothing said? I never heard of anything like that about Bambaataa. I was surprised when people told me that they did hear about that before. I'm like, well, damn, why was nothing said? I never heard of anything like that about Bambaataa. I was surprised when people told me that they did hear about that before. I'm like, well, damn, why was nothing said? But nonetheless, being a Moor, I'm like, I don't know, because I know that there's media ops going on. So benefit of the doubt, you know, I don't know. So here we are, 360. Sanetta put out a video the other week talking about he don't know if the people he allowed on this platform accusing them of what they did are actually right and exact, because now they're accusing Sanetta of setting them up. Real talk. You feel me? But I'm like, that's what you get for being an op. You know what I'm saying? Without examining all the facts and then coming out with the story. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that these thirsty yellow journalists, his son Taharka as well, you know what I'm saying, who's trying to come at RVBey, because we will take your head. His son Taharka as well, you know what I'm saying, who's trying to come at RVBey, because we will take your head. His son Taharka as well, you know what I'm saying, who's trying to come at RVBey, because we will take your head. Like, and I mean that in the metaphysical way. We watch these clowns on YouTube, and it's funny. You know what I'm saying? It's funny to a certain point, but it's sad too, because I can guarantee you, you know what I'm saying, that his relationship with women is not that great. There's been a lot of frivolous concerns, specifically when it comes to Moors who are actually exercising the 5 principles: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I'm emphasizing freedom and justice. You know what I mean? Because in the midst of doing that, there's been multiple attacks within that, like some shit like, oh, well, your claim isn't accepted because it's on 8.5 by 14 paper. And I'm looking like, fact is, the Declaration of Independence was written on 8.5 by 14-inch paper. You know what I mean? That's recognized. Why wouldn't it be? So when you take frivolous positions or frivolous claims and frivolous stances on our movement towards or inspired by freedom, you understand, then, you know, the shit is non-relevant. But as far as a street, as far as a block of all Moors, we've seen that in many projects. You know what I'm saying? You got projects in so-called New York that are 40-plus stories high. Where's your humanitarian work? Where's the Moorish Science Temple of America's missionaries for that work? Show us that. Don't worry about what we're doing, because I know blocks, you know, and everybody knows about Moors and have no fez. They don't have a fez, but they know about Moors. You know what I mean? They know about their constitutional rights. I know that. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, where's the missionaries at? Don't, like, RVBey wasn't charged with everything the Moorish Science Temple of America was charged with by Noble Drew Ali. You know what I mean? Basically, we were doing it because y'all were not. Y'all were not. Y'all did not. You didn't do it. Like, RVBey wasn't charged with everything the Moorish Science Temple of America was charged with by Noble Drew Ali. You know what I mean? Basically, we were doing it because y'all were not. Y'all were not. Y'all did not. You didn't do it. Like, RVBey wasn't charged with everything the Moorish Science Temple of America was charged with by Noble Drew Ali. You know what I mean? Basically, we were doing it because y'all were not. Y'all were not. Y'all did not. You didn't do it. RVBey wasn't charged with everything the Moorish Science Temple of America was charged with by Noble Drew Ali. You know what I mean? Basically, we were doing it because y'all were not. Y'all were not. Y'all did not. You didn't do it. You just didn't. Don't be mad. You know what I'm saying? That y'all flopped. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? And this movement is not confined to any brick or mortar or building, period. Period. It's just not. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, if you got small-minded people, house Negroes, who only are relevant, and I do mean only relevant on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, and barely even relevant on that. But nonetheless, if their mentality is, oh, nobody could be talking about nationality unless, you know what I'm saying, everybody is on one block or one street, the shit is retarded. We've been there. Dealing with nationality allows the mental to transcend that and deal with a continent. Until y'all get there, y'all not dealing with nationality, period. Because, you know what I'm saying, that's like being punked off like somebody getting robbed for their chain and then buying it back. You know what I'm saying? It's the same concept with your ancestral estate. Like, it's already ours. Until y'all realize that, don't talk to us about nationality. Don't make no comparisons with us. Don't do that, because it's not right and exact, and we could go all the way in on y'all. And you know what I'm saying? But I've been in quote-unquote so-called Baltimore, and I've seen more unity amongst those who don't know about nationality. Like, and I got footage. So don't even play with us. Like, you know, that's all I'm saying. Is just don't play with us, fam. Like, where's your missionary work? Where's the MST of A outside of being, you know, and don't get me wrong, salute to all true Moors who are doing their best in the Moorish Science Temple. Cujo, for example, you know what I'm saying? But how does it resonate? Because he's dealing with nationality, which transcends borders. It transcends borders. So the European has created their reality for them from the world that they live in, right, to the land that they're on. It's all based off of artificial and literally void art, because they carved out maps, which, you know what I mean, really don't have validity. You know what I'm saying? In natural law. So when we're talking nationality and birthright, that's natural law. That's dealing with the law of nature. That does not change. That supersedes any man-made idea, design, quote-unquote statute or law. It transcends and goes beyond all of that. So all I'm saying is, in these days, don't be impressed because somebody put a fez on and is trying to talk to you about more science with frivolous arguments about the difference between Moorish and Moroccan, and in the 101s it tells you the reason why they're Moorish American is because they're descendants of Moroccans born in America. So, I mean, like, when you see stuff like that, just know these people are clowns. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Literally buffoons. Not even court jesters, just buffoonery at its finest. You know what I'm saying? For YouTube. So, Europeans, they already know this is not their land. And, you know, they know that Moors, you know, especially those who are impressionable by the influence Europeans having dominion, right, even though they don't, they would rather remain conquered with no fight. You know what I'm saying? I'll put up fight straight up, and I'm not ashamed about none of that. You know what I mean? Because there is a certain level of or levels of respect that go with that in the political arena. Even if you're dealing with Romans who are de facto, they know the difference between the true and living and the civilly dead, or the civilita mortus. But they've always had what they called, and quote me on this, y'all, quote-unquote, Negro favorites. Go back and read J.A. Rogers, Nature Knows No Color Line. Negro favorites or puppets, you know what I'm saying, that they utilize. It's crazy. But nonetheless, we here. We standing on nationality and birthrights, principles of nationality in action, right? So for the yellow journalists, you colored folk, yellow journalists, like, just stop it with the stupid stuff. Like, we know that the Pilgrims have, assaulted our nation, bottom line. But don't act like it's just because we call ourselves Moors. Like, you got clowns putting up videos like, a Moor tried to show his ID and it says what happened. Like, how many so-called black people been shot down in the street? All right? So don't even try to take it there. That's super lame. There's footage of the police literally saying they only kill black people. Like, that's documented fact, right? And we know we're not Negro, black, and colored. Bottom line. So, yeah, like, in conjunction with the yellow journalists who try to discredit Moors, like Taharkas, the work Sinetta has done as far as trying to discredit Moors. The Europeans have done the same thing. There was a time where they was trying to call Moors paper terrorists, and it's so frivolous and irrelevant because I'm looking at it like, well, damn, just this weekend, a couple days ago, they said that, and even though this is a lie, but they quote-unquote claim the deadliest shooting in U.S. history happened in Las Vegas. And these are the real terrorists. Like, literally, you worried about a so-called, like, they made up some whole new stuff, quote-unquote paper terrorists, right? This is what they said, right? But there's real European, quote-unquote terrorists in blue suits, calling themselves policemen, in plain clothes, and, who else knows? But the focus, the shift, the reality of it is, Moors are living in the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, which is based in autonomy. Don't come to us talking from no slave perspective about what you don't got and how you want everybody to come live on the same block as you. That's not going to happen. Get yourself a wife and a family and live peacefully. Get your house in order, as Noble Drew Ali said. You know what I'm saying? These lessons are for you to get your house in order. This world is too big for everybody that's trying to be living on one block as the ultimate goal. We've seen that. We've experienced that. Like I said, projects, communities, neighborhoods, Moors have experienced all of that. And it's not that we shouldn't be experiencing that. But, like, if that's where your mind state is at, it's like, it reminds me back again when we was in the museum. There was a specific writing on the wall, and it was from a slave petitioner. And he was saying, like, we have no property, none of this, but yet we still have the right to our freedom. Like, look, man, like, get yourself together because we see through all of that. You know what I'm saying? You got men who've hit 50, and I know this is a lot. This is no disrespect because there's a lot of people struggling right now. And, yeah, that aspect of the support system is needed. But if your ultimate goal as a nation is to take over one block in one street, you're sorely mistaken if you think you're on the path with nationality. That's just not what it is. Nationality has not ever been about one block or one street. It always has been way more expansive than that. So, you know, I'm looking at it like still have the Negroid mentality of, you know, just that one block, one community, one street type of thing. And we're saying, I know I'm saying that when I look at the map, you know, I know Earth is our home. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and even on the political level, we could just say the Western Hemisphere, North, South, Central America is our home. And I refuse to see it any other way because it's not consistent with nationality. So that's what I wanted to speak on or mention, because Negroids are getting a little too out of hand with trying to slander, you understand, and on frivolous matters, like super frivolous matters. The bottom line is this: if you want to be up under the U.S. jurisdiction, all people have the right to consent. That is your choice. But you don't represent an entire nation. You might be a microcosm reflection, but everything you say is not what it is just because you said it. So that's my thing. You know, just stop getting up there making yourselves look retarded. I stand on every word that I said. And with that, for right now, I yield the floor. I can bury them with a lot of different facts, but we've done that many times. So for now, I refrain and yield the floor. Salam.
I am Canaanland Bey, calling it Morocco, Tennessee territory.
All right.
I'm getting bad reception. Hello? Can you hear me?
We can hear you fine. We hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I just want to say, I want to say that y'all are doing a great job. I have recently become aware of my Moorish American nationality, and I am a hostage. I am currently being held hostage against my will. I've been kidnapped for 10 years now, and I've been fortunately able to tune in to y'all's show. And I am a hostage. I am currently being held hostage against my will. I've been kidnapped for 10 years now, and I've been fortunately able to tune in to y'all's show. And I am a hostage. I am currently being held hostage against my will. I've been kidnapped for 10 years now, and I've been fortunately able to tune in to y'all's show. And I am a hostage. I am currently being held hostage against my will. I've been kidnapped for 10 years now, and I've been fortunately able to tune in to y'all's show. And I'm learning so much from you all, and I want to have y'all to continue doing what you're doing, because you're helping a lot of us natural people, and I just want to congratulate y'all on the job that you're doing.
Wow. Well, thank you for that. Thank you.
And I'm learning. I'm learning so much from y'all. And like I said, I've recently, within the past 2 years, become aware of my Moorish heritage, and I'm standing on it. And even though I'm a hostage right now, I'm in the process of taking on my true identity as far as who I am, where I come from, and I'm standing on that. And the more I'm learning, the more I listen in and the more I tune in, the more I'm encouraged to do so. I just want to thank y'all. Islam.
Islam.
Trust you keep doing some good. But before you go, let me ask you this one question.
I'm listening.
You said you like dealing with the Tennessee Corporation. Like,
yeah, I'm being held hostage. I'm being held hostage as we speak.
All right. Let me ask you. Are they holding you at Fort Pillow?
No, I'm at. Yeah, I heard of Fort Pillow. I'm at Northwest Tennessee prison right now.
Okay. All right. No, I just wanted to be clear.
Yeah. We're not even going to ask, but obviously, it's good that you called in. Obviously, there's some freedoms, I guess, or somehow. Wait, you don't have to answer, but we're glad you called and trust you work your way out.
Yes, I'm in the process of doing that as we speak. I'm in the process of doing it. My brother Mario L. Bay is teaching me and guiding me through the process.
Absolutely, yes. He's a good brother.
Well, you're in good
yes,
hands.
he is.
Cool.
What did you say, Anna Edie's in good hands?
I said that you're in good hands.
Yes, yes.
Come again?
I said you're in good hands. You got a great guy.
Yes. He guided me. He teaches me well.
All right.
Islam.
All right, Islam. Thank you so much for your call.
Mariam Bay. I'm in the Dawamish territory. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm in the Dawamish territory. So I called in because you guys are amazing. You know that. But I recently used some of the things that I learned, and it was pretty incredible. And at first I was a bit doubtful, but I have no doubt that and it's real, just study. I had to study because I'm a skeptical person. I always think that, it's not something. But now that I've studied and I looked at laws and read things that I should have read, my entire life, it's really, really inspiring, actually, that I have power, and just of self, and it's giving me power, for real. So I think you guys know what you're doing for people, but really you're really doing it for me. You've really done a lot for me and for my child. That's most definitely what I've been seeing, is that everything is connected. You really can't deal with one thing without dealing with it all. So I think that's maybe why I get a bit, put off a bit, but that's done now. That's over with. I had really played with this information, I will admit, because I had several people bring this to me, and I always just say, oh, that's interesting. But I had the Employment Security Department try to garnish my wages at my job, and I had to send them some documents, and in 5 days, they was telling my job, please terminate the garnishment. Please don't take this woman's money, because I was on them that hard. Like, hold up, you're violating my constitutional rights. Are you crazy? Like, what's really going on here? 5 days. Even my the director of the HR department at my job was like, whoa. She said, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen someone get a garnishment taken off of their name. It was really deep. It's really deep for me still.
Yeah,
It was a great learning experience for me. It taught me so much to just read, and look words up in the dictionary, because even the paperwork that they sent, it was in a language that was not familiar to me. So I'm looking at the document like, what are they talking about? And so I had to really break it down and look up words, and I'm like, wait, no, this doesn't make any sense. And
Right.
And then I looked up all the laws, all the RCWs that they put in the document, and it's talking about corporation this and corporation that, and I'm like, what?
And you're not the corporation, right? You knew that, right?
Right.
That's,
come on.
That's the whole point. And you know what? What else you're bringing to the light here is that, it's been said, man does not know by being told. And once you, at that point where you decided, for whatever reason, that you were going to take this direction, no one could give you the experience that you just had, and you can't really give it to anyone else, now can you? It's something they have to do on their own, isn't it?
I've tried to take the documents. I've tried to take my documents, right, and show it, because I got a reply back from them with, like, the official reply back from the unemployment department. So I showed a couple of my coworkers what I sent them and what their reply was. But, again, it's in a language that they cannot understand, as I couldn't understand until I studied. And so I couldn't just show them, oh, this is how you can get them off your back, because I can't show them. No comprehension at all. So I thank you all for that. I thank you all for that, because I had never really looked at it. I never took that time. I never took the time, but I called in a while ago, and I had got some things for my daughter, and I was giving her direction, and for some reason I got stuck on it, and then this dropped into my lap, really dropped into my mailbox, and I was just very prepared. I was very prepared for it. If it would have happened 8 months ago, I probably would have paid. I probably would have gave them my money.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Islam Moors. Sister Rise. This is Islam Moor. That hair is growing, yo. You got that long hair, bro. Yes, bro. It smells good, bro. You know what it is. I already know. Good. You alright? Everything's good, yo. Oh, that's it. You know it. It's no, it is. I already know. Yeah. You can just do it in there, yo. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, Father of the universe.
Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace.
Freedom.
And justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
And
my salvation. By night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Noble Juali. Islam. Pull that door to me. Letters to be read in every meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must put an end to all radical, agitating speeches while at their work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure of obeying these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or to violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Juali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. Noble Juali. Islam. I am glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people on our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens, they are working every scheme they can to disqualify me so they may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that attribute to their movement and uplifting funds, the ones that paid their divine respect to me, and the movement will be remembered. That is why I am calling upon all Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance, and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without I, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works which I have performed in the past few years. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. To the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Islam, this is the instruction from your Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Be faithful unto your forefathers' divine and national creed, that you will be blessed for your good deeds that you sow in the flesh. Allah is the one that judges the world, and his judgment is now on, but the weak can comprehend it not. The end of time is drawing near, so says Allah to his divine prophet, I, Noble Drew Ali. And that's why many hearts have been turned to stone. Many have eyes to see, but cannot see. Ears to hear, but cannot hear, lest they would be confounded of their sins. These are trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving. And they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid, and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. But if you have the true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you hear or see, but will sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your prophet. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet and ridicule him to the very lowest, and the ones that speak against your divine and national principles of your temples. Act accordingly, and Allah will bless you for your good work. Peace. Your divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam. Canaanland Moors branch. Moors Order of the Round Table. Purpose. Moors Order of the Round Table is a Moorish nation institution which came into existence through active research and study of the works and teachings of Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, Noble Drew Ali, and evolved out of ongoing history and culture classes which were held on a consistent and expanded basis by Brother Taj Tariq Bey. Moors Order of the Round Table was officially established in June of 1982, 1402 Moorish calendar year. Moors Order of the Round Table is an active association of Moorish Americans, the indigenous inhabitants of ancient Amexem, the land of Mu. In modern times, Amexem is called Northwest, Southwest, and Central Africa. In contemporary times, Amexem is called North America, South America, and Central America, including the adjoining islands. The two American continents and islands are the inherited lands of the Moors. The Moors are bound to these continents by heritage and birthright. These are the lands of our ancient foremothers and fathers. Moors Order of the Round Table treats the issues of Moorish history, culture, civics, science, law, heritage, descent, pedigree and parentage, philosophy, literature, etc. Uplifting fallen humanity requires expanding work in many areas. There is much work to do. We are striving to perform a functional and positive part in this noble work. We are making constructive and applicable civic contributions to the nation. Action is the response made to the world-renowned call made by Noble Drew Ali, founder of the Old Canaanite Temple in 1913, 1333 Moorish calendar year. The Old Canaanite Temple emerged as the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Since 1928, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science has adopted its corporate name, Moorish Science Temple of America. The universal Moorish movement is called the Moorish Divine National Movement of the World. This was Prophet Noble Drew Ali's call in 1913, 1333 Moorish calendar year. Come all ye Asiatics of America, and hear the truth about your nationality and your birthrights. You are not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian. Learn of your forefathers' ancient and divine creed, that you may learn to love instead of hate, come and link yourselves with the families, come and link yourselves back with the families of nations. At the round table, we study, analyze, and act on the above statement from an at-law perspective, then apply the knowledge and instruction. Actions bring words to life. Another aspiring statement by Prophet Noble Juali was, in order to change the people, you must change their literature. To use the word profound would be an understatement when referencing Prophet Ali's teachings and instructions. We as conscious Moors have been remiss in our responsibilities and duties relative to our national and international development. We have fallen woefully short in our duty to produce literature from the Moorish perspective for ourselves and our children. Lessons in Moorish Al-Moroccan culture, heritage, government, and cosmology, Moorish sciences, are produced through Moors Order of the Round Table study classes. Literature is for sale to the Moors and the general public to raise the consciousness of the masses. We serve as a small Moabite oasis to counter false concepts, misinformation, propagated by conflict of interest institutions and shadow system appointed opportunists who extract fortunes and pretend to address the lack of national sovereignty and the economic and social problems. This directly and indirectly promotes the suffering of our divided, uninformed, and civilly abused nation. It is most difficult to enslave and inform people. Moorish Americans need focused reorientation literature. Studies of self should be promoted and encouraged amongst our people. We are well aware that slavery still exists in our land.
I got a question. You were saying, what was the date there? 1433? Right?
For what?
For when the prophet was put into place, whatever it was. I think you made it
Okay,
1913.
Okay, Canaanland Temple, 1913, 1333.
1333.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying 1433.
No, 1333.
1402 was 1982. Forget that.
Okay, no, so wait a minute. So you were saying that. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, good. Perfect.
It's 1402 is 19 what? 1982.
82.
82.
The purpose of today's class instructions is to address once again the misinformation relative to people taking RVBey Publications website and presenting it to the masses as not suitable for the upliftment of our people, right? Whether it's mentally, whether it's with reference points used as a online encyclopedia to do research, whatever. There was somebody that put up a video, and their video basically, peace more. Their video basically was uploaded by somebody who has their, I guess if you will, start in presenting information to the people in 2016 or something like that. We wanted to read Moors Order of the Round Table purpose because of the timeline that was mentioned, 1982. Prior to this time frame, we could say that the statement of Moors being remiss in their duties we as conscious Moors have been remiss in our duties and responsibilities relative to our national and international development. We have fallen woefully short in our duty to produce literature from a Moorish perspective for ourselves and our children. So since 1982, Moors Order of the Round Table has been doing the work that so-called officials of the Moorish Science Temple of America were supposed to have been doing. Right? Keep in mind the timeline of 1982. When Canaanland Moors was established, in 2008, 2009. We came up by Moors who were teaching from this platform. So the Moors who introduced Canaanland Moors to this information were coming from this jurisdiction as well as Washita Moors, which is relative, right? Because with this we have Taj Tariq Bey and Washita Moors. We have Alim, and Kadira El Bey. Now, what has to be understood is that if anybody is out here claiming that they're Moors or relative to Moors and they're teaching or they're putting out information, it has to be understood that this point, 1982, was the point of the passive Moor energy being dissolved, because the information was being presented by Moors Order of the Round Table, and Washita Moors were literally changing the face of how the so-called states, specifically North Carolina, Chicago, New Jersey, and a few other jurisdictions that were on that same frequency. As the information began to come out, remember we're talking about 82, right? As the information began to come out, it became obvious that certain people were holding back information, right? It became obvious certain people were holding back information. So because people were being held back in what it is that they were supposed to know, it created this, we'll say, for lack of a word, we'll say hatred, right? Oh, ready now. Yes. We're gonna talk to you.
More again.
We're gonna talk to you about the baptism. Well, boys, we're gonna let you know why we're clapping soon. Now, the hatred that has come from people who are on our side is stemming from the humanitarian work that people did that the haters didn't want to do. Because like, you know, the purpose of the Moors Order of the Round Table is saying is that, you know, there's a effort to be humanitarian. If we're saying, you know what I mean, like Moors Order of the Round Table, Washita Moors, whatever, because it's written there since 1982, and on top of that, we have their track record from 82 to show that this is how the stuff's supposed to run. Now, keep in mind, right, when we say 82, we're just dealing with this, right? So Canaanland Moors, Washita Moors, right? VladimirTV, RVBey, 0708. Jabbar Gaines L. Also, we're not even going to put people who didn't identify themselves as Moors, but so when we came in under the Moors who were in Mecca at that time, which we know that as Chicago, they were strict with us that these people right here, including Moors Order of the Round Table, if we're gonna be true Moorish Americans to the cause of what Noble Drew Ali brought for the Moors, that we don't move from there. As soon as you move from there, you're gonna have problems. Automatically. As soon as you say, nah, forget that, forget those people, you're gonna have problems. Why? Because the people who brought us up been down with this since these times. So they already have a track record. They already have certain experience. They already have certain things that they've done that we could say, you know, is not for public presentation. But there's stuff that was done that if people find out that Moors did these type of stuff, there'll be Moors tomorrow. It's not going to be a question. But by putting things like that out, it's going to draw the wrong people. So certain stuff, you just don't even bring it up. Alright? You had a question?
I was just going to say, wasn't Taj involved around the starting of the Moorish Order of the Round Table?
Taj is who started that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's his actual institute.
Right.
Right? Because of him being in Moorish Science Temple, realizing the folly that's going on. You guys not really about teaching people about their birthrights. They want to play a club game. So forget about that. I'm going to go over here and we're going to do what's supposed to be done. Right? For the Moors. Right? So we were brought up to make sure that we make these people, specifically these people, Brother Alim. Oh yeah, and at that time, let's throw this name up here as well. Sharif Bey. Right? Because he was a big lawman at that time, 08, 09. Right? He wasn't talking all that crazy stuff that he's talking today with Moorish World TV. He was going to the temple in Chicago with Dawid Ali El, who was the national grand sheikh of that temple, and those Moors had their own plates back then. Right? They had their own plates. I only know because we went there, saw the plates ourselves, that they had their own plates.
Come on, license plate?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And remember, this is 0809.
We're just talking about that in the car.
Right?
Not around. We have ours here.
Right?
That's
All right.
what is going on?
Okay. So there was a standard, there was a bar, right? The bar that was set for us was, you know, we didn't know at the time that the fact that we were engaging with the Moors that we were engaging with, that we were on the bar.
What do you mean by that?
Like, the activity that they were doing.
They who?
Like the Moors that brought us up.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where they were in their concepts being matched with their activity.
Right.
Right? So like things that were in their mind were actually happening on the earth plane. Like it wasn't abstract thought. Like how we might say, you know, you might hear more say like we just said, like plates. Right? But it's just something in their mind. Because when they look at their car, they don't got this stuff. So it's not really, you know what I mean, mind to whatever, right? So it was already matter, right? And we're being brought in, you know, not as some underling of these guys. You know what I mean? We were brought in as what we do here, what they do there, what they do there. You're going to take that and do it where you're at. Right? This is not, you know what I mean? We give you a charter and now you're under us and you have to call us every second to find out what. Here's all the information or whatever like that. Study all the stuff. When you study all the stuff, then you'll know what you're supposed to do. It's not even going to be a question of what to do, what should we do, who should we go to, da, da, da. There's all the stuff, study the stuff and you'll find out whatever. Right? So, again, since 2008, 2009, there has been no sway as far as where we stand with regard to who are the Moorish teachers, who are not. Who we consider the ones that people should go to if they really want to know about this, and who people should stay away from. Right? As we've acknowledged previously with these individuals that play this game of disrespect RVBey publications, we always bring up, where were these people? Right? So the people who are going to play today, you know, we asked them, where were they in 2008, 2009? Anybody who's talking about anything against RVBey publications right now in 2017, right? Our challenge to them is present where you were in 2008, 2009. Because in 2008, 2009, we were active already. Because remember, we came in on the bar. We didn't come in that we had to learn how to be Moors and whatever like that. We came in and everything was given to us. This is how you be Moors. Like, there's no outside of what we're telling you. Like, anybody tells you something outside of this, they're probably playing you.
So in other words, this is how we get it, this is how the Prophet brought it back.
Right? Through the avenues, or through the quote-unquote people that were vibrating on that frequency, that they might not have even looked at themselves like that. The same way that we didn't look at ourselves like, you know, the temple saviors, right? In the sense that people are in a Moorish Science temple right now because of Canaanland Moors, because they're in our temple. They're not even in freaking Canaan land, but they're part of our temple. Why is that? Right? Why is it a theme for Moors who can't find a temple wherever they're at to join Canaanland temple? Right? This is a theme in the world of people who want to be part of Moorish Science Temple. If there's no temple where they're at, they should probably go to Canaanland temple. The Maori's right back there. He can tell you the thousands of emails that he gets for people who want membership for him.
I think that goes to what we were talking about in the conveyance again, right? About the energy.
Speak on it.
Just that I have been, and I think when we get to this point when we start coming at this from that Moorish sort of platform or energy, you start seeing how everything is connected to us.
Yeah.
On the whole, when I started to study certain things about, okay, so if this is the Americas, and this is where the Moors were, and then you look at sort of New York and Philly as places that you can look to say that, okay, we had a strong Moorish presence, that's basically observable from what I hear. Philly, they've got Philly tour, they've got all kinds of fezzes and stuff. In New York, it's the same thing. But then you look at, remember, we were all over this area. And I was doing some studying. Montreal was a huge area. The Mohawk were up there. That was a huge trading port. And still is. But now from under the... Anyways, long and short of it all, what I've come to understand, what I've come to, I think, look at is how this area here was a huge area. And I used the analogy about how, let's say New York and Philly were the city spots. But this might be the country. So we would come out here to meditate. And that just came to me now. That's why they came up to the lakes up there. The so-called Niagara Falls, or Niagara Falls. That's where the women went to meditate. So Canada, as that area, is a very unique place. And people that come to Toronto, they talk about Toronto having that special energy. Cujo told me about how Bobby Hemmett came up here, and he said that Toronto has that special, that Canada has that special energy. So ultimately, and you realize that people come to Canada, they say they're so nice. Remember, Canadians used to be able to travel all over the world with their passports, right? The Americans were the ones that were always looked at as the thing. Another parallel is the Canadian brain drain. All of the good brains end up going out of the States, all right? So what I start to realize is this area has high spiritual resonance, much more so than maybe the Americas, which may have, and if you look at it from the triangle point of view, then America would be the lower triangle, and we thus are the higher triangle, right? So ultimately, there's lots of activity going down in the so-called Americas. Why are they looking to join here? Part of me, when Cujo was talking about it, is the activity that he puts out. But other people put out that kind of activity, right? So ultimately, something is here, and I think we all have to acknowledge, and this is some of the stuff that I started to realize about a week ago. The stuff that we're experiencing now is, this stuff was ordained for us. We were made for this. This was part of who we are. We just have to realize it. Right? The rest of our brothers are there too. But it also says in the statements, He can't wake us all up at once. Because we got a lot of those energies. So we have to see this as we are, and that's what Cujo was talking about 2008. This was the beginning of the awakening. The Great Awakening. I was telling him about 30 years ago. I never used to know any about this. And every day you look on CP24, they got something else going on about the indigenous this. The government, and this is what I realized, and this was the other thing I realized.
So-called government.
So-called government. So-called, the fraudulent de facto government. The de facto, whatever, criminals. What you realize is that our activity has woken the rest of the world up to the fact that we're not asleep anymore. And what's happened is Canada has no basis for anything. So what they had really done was so this was the area that they really had to, just like religion, this was the area that they really had to mystify and confuse. So they made it just a store. That's what Canada is. It's just a corporation. You've got no connection to anything. So you can't even find your way back. Right? Because you're looking to go to people that they're not even tied to the land. They're colonies. And what you realize about colonies is they're colonizing, which means they're perverting. But once we wake up and say that that's done, the same people that are out there yelling about, you can't do this to those people, meanwhile in their own backyard, they're doing it to us. So right now they're in major trouble. Because while they're going all over the world saying that we gotta stop the Rwandans from doing this, meanwhile, they have been basically enslaving everyone here. But we've been awake now, notifying everyone that we know what's going on. So they're now backtracking, and this is some of the stuff I've been clued about. They've now agreed to give the children from the residential schools $25,000 to $50,000 each for cocaine, because back at the day they were talking about that. They've now agreed to what was the second thing I said to you? It was the money.
Well, we need an apology. They apologize.
Yeah, well, the apology's bullshit. Because remember, no. Think about this.
But it's what they say now. What they say. That's what they say. It is bullshit, but it's what they say.
Yeah, but remember, this is what we all have to realize. This is from the perspective that they still set up a front man.
Oh yeah.
Remember, when the shit hits the fan, we're not going to kill the queen. Not to say that but that's how you would end a hive. You would go take out the queen, right? But we're still looking to go take out his prime minister, right? His main guy here who's running the show. He's the main don here for the business part of it. But remember, we're just still all in business. We get to attach, and this connects with what Cujo was talking about with this thing with the RV publications. They're doing everything they can to have you disconnect from the fact that all you have to do is claim your shit and start living it, and it's over, because that's what we are right now doing. Taj made a comment that once you start changing your thinking, your environment and your reality changes. That's what's happening right now, right? They're done, it's over. And what they're trying to do is quickly trying to get everyone in alignment. Any one of those people that takes that $25,000 to $50,000 probably has to sign something. You got to know that, right?
They're gonna be Indian,
right?
that's for sure.
Right? And that's where, this is why it's so important for us. But as you see, think about all the work that, all the people that we touch every day and how hard it is. Look at the classes. Look at the guys who come here. Look. It's crazy.
Look. You finished? Okay. All what you're saying there, it's all in me. Like, all these thoughts, how are you talking about? And look at the paper. I brought it today. Here's the paper of all what you're talking about.
Of course.
And that goes back again
So
to
that's how we connect energies.
Yeah, the synchronicity. Back to the synchronicity.
A license coming here.
Yeah.
A license
Yeah.
plate. I'm like, I need a Moorish license plate. I'm not going to the ministry. It's like,
This is it.
We're talking about today.
Yeah.
So I turn around and man says, yeah, we got some down here.
That's the newspaper. That's the newspaper.
Right? So the vibration right now is directly against people coming up, people getting into their birthright.
I just wanted, was this what you were talking about him?
On the top.
Or which one? Or the on top? The scoop settlement?
Yeah.
Oh, but watch what you're missing. You're missing that they're bringing the man back in too. This was the second thing that I was telling them about.
Yes, I see that too.
They brought him in.
I see that too.
They brought him in.
I see
so
that
you know, but remember, they're not bringing us in.
No.
They're bringing everyone else in.
They never bring us in because
they're
he's a corporate slave. That's why they bring
That's
him.
right. But they're tying it, and this is what I was saying to Cujo, now back on the back. They're tying it to the indigenous, which means that they are part of the land, but they're not the Abba original.
Yeah.
So we're the original. Sometimes you hear them say Aboriginal, but very rarely, really it falls to indigenous, because what they're still tying it to is to the Indian, which then allows them the gain. Because they can't give us anything. It's ours. It's ours to take back. But if they can keep this game going while the rest of us continue to be black, then yet again they can go to the international community and say, look, you know what I mean? These people, this is what this is about. So
Right.
When I look at this, the other one there, the listing and when I see them, I tell my body, this is the one gonna make it. This is the one that's gonna get there. Eat there. This is the time to put him there now.
Yeah.
And there it is.
It's no different than when they put Obama in office. And everybody, yeah, we got a president. No, that guy's puppet. That's blackface. What are you talking about? He's gonna be for you guys' favor.
right.
No different than them bringing in Pranjit, whoever, Sikh guy.
Yeah.
How is a Sikh guy the head of NDP right now?
Yeah, crazy.
A Sikh guy is the head of NDP right now?
Crazy, crazy. Oh, that was the other thing.
So it must be over, right? It has to be over. There's no way that it's not over if a Sikh is the head of an NDP. political party.
And then what's interesting, if you guys see, the turbans that he's wearing are very interesting colors too. He had a pink one when he won,
Yeah.
he had a yellow one now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just weird, and those colors obviously represent things.
Well, what's going to start happening, obviously, is that now we start doing, people say, oh, y'all are just copying that guy.
Right. You know, we're not the original.
But the other thing that I was saying to Cujo, which is very important for us to remember, is that a lot of this stuff that's being done, because remember, this is them notifying and posting, and this is the literature part, right? But the rest of the world, back when shit really hit the fan, they put Obama in to quiet the world, to make it show, well, hey, how could this be a land of slaves if you got a black president? Remember, so this, is all of the propaganda machine that's running. But what's really happening is they're putting that out on the surface, but meanwhile they're still doing the same shit back here. And there's still $800 million that just came to me. You realize this? This is how major corporations work. So what they do is, let's say, for example, like a breast implant that goes wrong. They know goes wrong. First of all, they tie it up in litigation for 10 to 20 years. Then what they start doing is buying people off underneath it. Then what they also do is wait for people to die. Right? So this is all just
or take people out.
Huh?
Or take people out.
Right. So this is all that in a nutshell. Right? This is what's happening is the stuff has finally gotten to the point where they know that they can control this. You see what I'm saying? Now this is quantifiable. Because before, on another level, that was war crime shit. You see what I'm saying? They were taking people out of their families. They were changing, and this is the other thing that I think they've done. This is why I realize the studying that they do is on a much grander level. They've realized that they've changed the current enough that right now they can control what's going to come out of this. But if they did this about 20, 30 years ago, how do you know what I mean? They might have had armed Moors and things out in the streets. But now what's happening is they've done enough of their gains, and now they're giving everyone a little piece. 25, right? 2 and 5, $21,000. Don't think they ain't using that same spiritual geometry too, right? Go ahead.
Well, you see, even like they say at the front, like everyone blames the Queen a lot too. But what forget about the Rockefellers and all those other big fellas?
They're not. With all due respect, with those,
they fund most of everything.
No, but again, they're not important. Because the Red Shield, which is Rockefellers, that's you. That's your house. They're only basically perpetually doing what we did a long time ago. Right? So we gotta, again, in terms of who we are, we gotta stop looking outside ourselves and just focus on what we're supposed to do.
What we're supposed to be doing.
Remember, what are they financing with? What is fiat? Right? All you gotta do, write your stuff, and everything is done.
No, I'm not worried about them in power. I'm just talking about the blaming game. Like, people love blaming the Queen too. But I'm saying there's other people involved that don't get the blame too. Right?
Again, all we gotta do, get the government back on track. Everything outside of that.
Which is self.
I know that.
So, in regards to, I mentioned Rockefellers, the Ford Foundation, whoever, all they're doing is to stop us from doing what we're doing. That's it. There's nothing else on this planet that matters. It's to stop the Moors from perpetually controlling stuff.
Taking their stand.
That's it. It's once you get to that level of, as I said, just thinking about just that alone, that it's to stop you from being you.
Yes.
That's it. Rockefellers, whoever, Bush, whatever, Clinton,
the colonists.
You know what I'm saying? They don't matter. All the families don't matter. They don't.
You know what the problem is too?
Go ahead.
It's with us. The Moors that don't even know themselves from whatever is the problem. Not them. Not them. Friday morning we going to work. Me and my son, we stop at the McDonald's to get a coffee and whatever it was. And then now, Britain man, English man come up behind me. He asked me if I'm in the line. But I tell him, yeah, but I'm on the side because I don't stand in line. And then he said to me, I like your hat, your face. Correct himself, right? I asked him, who are you? And he said he's Canadian. He's Canadian, he was born here. And I said, what's your background, your nationality, where your parents came from? Oh, yeah, my parents come here in the 50s. And I go, when they come here? And then I said to him, you see, my friends, you recognize it. That's our people here stuff, but they don't know. But you recognize it, what it is. He said, yeah. I said, no, you. Did you know that your parents run away from all kind of bad things happening to them in Britain when they come here? Why they run over here? He said, yeah. I said, good. Now you realize that they're telling our people here that they are in slavery, they brought them here and nothing goes like that? That was it. That's the conversation we have. Yeah. And that's a man from, his parents is from Britain.
Yeah.
Was born over here in Canaanland, Canada, whatever it is. And he knows all about that.
Yeah.
And our own people over here. Me and them cannot have a conversation like that.
It's true. It's true.
We can't get so far.
True. Yep. So true. Which again goes back to that thing about usually in order to change the people, you have to change their literature.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, full circle back to why we hold the RVBey Publications website so high. Because, like we said, 2008, 2009, the only place you can go to get any of this info is RVBey Publications. There was no more websites or whatever like that, other than that, back then. Like 2008, 2009, there was no, whoever was talking BS about RVBey Publications, none of them people were around in 2008, 2009. Nobody was talking BS now, they weren't around. Trust me, they weren't around. Right? Moors who you see right now talking about certain stuff. They got YouTube page and Facebook group and all that stuff. Where were they 2008, 2009? When the only website that you can go to get some information. When RVBey Publication was only like 7 tabs or something like that. Right? They got 20-something tabs now. But they only had 7 tabs. They had no withdrawal pad, they had a about tab, they didn't have a proclamation tab yet. They didn't have nationality card tab yet. They didn't have certain tabs are because of the so much information that they're putting out, they had to create more tabs. But there was a time frame where that website with only 7 tabs was all you needed to. You didn't even need to go nowhere else. So what? All this time later, people have issue with what they're putting out, but they didn't have an issue back here because they weren't around. Don't listen to anybody talking against these people. Because again, they have been doing, from the publication's perspective, right, putting out quote-unquote literature, visual literature, for people who want to learn about their nationality and birthright. Temples weren't doing this. Temples had MySpace pages in 2008, 2009. Temples didn't have no websites. They had MySpace pages. Right? That's how we got put on. Through MySpace. Not through going to a Moorish website and them saying, oh yeah, we didn't even know about even having so-called MySpace. We didn't know about RVBey Publications. We're dealing with Moors one-on-one, like a Moor that's in a temple that has a MySpace page. And you message them and they're telling you something. They weren't giving you no reference about, oh yeah, go on this website or whatever. They're telling you, oh, Noble Jewali has this book, and then they'll post the whole stuff. Every chapter, everything. For you to see what this is about. There's no snapshot of something so you can see the full thing in a one little whatever. People have to put in some work. Again, it goes back to that thing again. Because RVBey Publication was the only place to go online, you were forced to have to go to the library to research. You're not just going online to go look up some stuff. You're actually going to have to go out and do the research. Right? Again, we're looking at the timeline. 2008, 2009, when none of these people existed, that are out today that are claiming that they're somebody or they have something to offer or whatever, right? When we were coming up, only people who had something to offer was Washington Moors, right? Which was Alim El Bey, Kadir El Bey directly. We had direct contact with them. And the Moors who we came up with, that they gave us contacts. And the contacts they gave us was Taj Street Bey, Rosmariah Bey, Jabbar Gainesel, and Nature El Bey. There ain't nobody else that they gave us no contacts for. If you talk to those Moors, you be good, we deal with those Moors only. Forget anybody else that says anything about Moors. But then now, when we look at it today, you know, you have this influx of everybody knows something about this. There's so much people with this information. Oh yeah, you can go over here find out, you can go there find out, you can go to these people find out, but none of them been around since 2008. How are these people credible? How are people taking these people as credible? And then, not that, you know, there haven't been people, oh yeah, and also too, Journal of the Moorish Paradigm, Hakeem Bey. That was another one that, you know what I mean? There was a block of maybe like 5, 6 Moors. That's it that we needed. Why? Because with these Moorish track record, these are the only ones that's been doing something. Just go check. Then you go check, and then that's the only stuff you see. But then now with this internet and, you know what I mean, everybody could be a YouTube star because they could just go live right now and get 50,000 views because somebody got shot. Now they're popular. But again, even in that world, when we go into this whole virtual, this is why again, you know, say study, study, study. We tell Moors, make sure you go buy books or whatever. Don't rely on this Google and all that stuff. Don't rely on PDFs and all that. Because if you can't turn on the stuff because there's no power, you're going to be reading with candles. And candles is not going to, PDF's not going to work with candles. You're not going to have tablet, there's no power. We got a generator. Trust me, you're not going to waste your generator, gas or whatever, to be on freaking Facebook. Who's doing that? Who's that crazy? And people who are that crazy are the ones who's going to lose their generator to intelligent people, right? So there's this individual. We'll give him some shout outs. Ben Calloway put out a video recently and followed the campaign of the yellow journalist RVBey Publications propaganda, right? So the theme with these people that have an issue with this website is that they always have bait. So his bait was, you know, United States is a corporation and all that stuff. We'll hear some of the stuff that he's talking about. The United States is a corporation and, you know, you can't do that because, you know, it's a corporation and a citizen is a corporation and you can't, and then nationals and RVBey, the RVBey publications, they can't really make you a Moor and all this type of stuff. We're like, hold on a second, how come 12 minutes into your video, these people are coming up? How come you didn't bring them up in the beginning? How come 2 weeks ago you were talking about them? How come, I mean, you know, his page been up since 2016. First time you're talking negative about these people, but on your stuff you're talking about Moors, you're talking about we're the indigenous people, you're talking about we're in favor of, you know what I mean, Aboriginal rights and all that stuff, but then you're going against people who are teaching directly Aboriginal rights. this is how you know that, and we've been saying it, right? The whole social media, upload a video world, is virtual, right? Somebody who's in the social media, upload a video world, they're not journalists. Don't even let them play you into thinking that because they got the mic right there with the little sponge and then the square thing on it or whatever, right? That they're a journalist. Or that they got the desk, you know what I mean? And then he's sitting at the desk and then in the back they got some, you know what I mean, green screen, whatever stuff going on. You got the tie and stuff like that. He's a journalist. They're not journalists. They're social media upload junkies. They're not scholars. That's like we were talking about on the show the other night. These are house Negroes that sit at their house like a Negro and make videos from their house. But when you go out the street, you don't see them. They only exist in the virtual world. So anybody says, you know what I mean, anybody says, you know, in the virtual world, right? Excuse me. Anybody says in the virtual world, like what is this? You know, sexy girl, and they send a picture, right? Slap that guy. Because anybody looking at glass or whatever saying there's a sexy girl on this glass, they have mental problems. Right? Anybody telling you about something in this is doing something or means something or whatever, they're somewhere else. Because the virtual means it's not a reality. It means that it's not a reality. Right?
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
It's all good, Mark. So, always keep in mind, right? Always keep in mind that a journalist should have a journal. A journalist is not going to have a YouTube page. A journalist is going to have a journal. And a journal is somebody that documents this stuff or whatever like that. And then when you document the stuff, you know, then you, whatever you decide to do with it after that. But, you know, it's just like the idea, another one. Right? Vlad TV. Right? Now, everybody knows he's a culture vulture.
Who?
It's not even a secret that he's a culture vulture. Like, people know this, that he's a misappropriator of our culture. Because all he does, like World Star TV, is put out BS about our people. He doesn't put out stuff. Right? Like, people are going to say, oh, well, you know, he had Polite on there. Polite's dirty more. That ain't freaking nobody to say he got somebody on there. Who's Polite? Polite ain't nobody. Well, he has, you know, good interviews about whatever. He has good interviews about nothing. What good interviews does he have up there? Right? Now, again, when you look at these YouTube stuff.
Isn't Hip Hop International?
Yeah, Hip Hop's international, yeah.
Well, he's part of the human family.
Again, social media upload world, that's not hip hop. He's quote unquote a DJ. I never seen him spin a record ever on his Vlad TV, whatever.
No, but he has.
He's
like
a DJ.
some good. I'd love to watch a show. I'd love to watch it. I don't know a lot about hip hop. I learned about hip hop from when he brings on those people and they talk, I learn.
Right, most definitely. Yes.
I'm not saying it's a lot of garbage, but
you're gonna learn. But again, if I'm like, okay, I'm looking at it like, if I want to learn, I go to RVBey Publications, 100% authentic, no garbage.
But most people, when they want to learn, where do they go? They go to the brother. You brought him. You brought him here for lectures. From sorry.
It's all good.
The rap group, you know, that they changed the whole world. You know him. He was running for his life. No, you brought him here.
Oh, D-Brad from BET you're talking about?
Black Star?
Flavor Flav.
Okay.
Who's the other brother? The one who started. Not the other one. No, the one who lectures. Professor Griff.
Oh, Griff, yeah. Okay.
Everybody learns from Professor Griff.
Yeah.
They don't go to RV Publications. The people go to Professor Griff.
Yeah, but again,
he always has the most views.
But again, right?
You're intellectual. You go to RVBey.
Right.
The people go to Griff.
It goes back to that same
and
thing.
Griff is on Vlad TV.
Right.
And,
but it goes back to
and
the
I love
same
listening
thing
to Griff.
that if it was really about doing something for our people, these people like Vlad, Russian guy, like, what do you mean you're hip hop? Even though it's international, he can't claim DJ nothing. You're not founder of that. Every check that he made DJing, 15% was supposed to go to the original DJ. If you're saying that you're for the culture.
He's for his pocket. I'm not saying he's for his pocket.
If he's for his pocket, then he's not for our people.
He's making money.
He's not for our people then. Then he's not for our people.
Right, but Professor Griff, he's for his people. He's also making a living.
Right, but again, if
you're trying to do both because you have to survive.
If the idea is okay, for example, Lord Jamar is on there, right? He's Nation of Gods and Earths and all that, brand newbie, and he's foundation hip hop, right? Now, if he's gonna go on there and say that, well, Vlad, that's my boy because I know him personally, outside of the stuff that, you know what I mean, goes online, right? Then why are we listening to anything he says online? If he knows Vlad outside of online, that's why he's not on Vlad TV because of Vlad TV. He's on Vlad TV because that's his boy that he knows personally, off of the stuff that all the zombies think that, he was on there, so that's why it got 50,000 views or whatever. No, it's not. That's not why they got 50,000 views. They got 50,000 views because those people have view counters. The dumb shit gets high views. The intelligent shit gets no views. And we know this from when we were supposed to debate Ali Muhammad, right? When we debated Ali Muhammad, and we put up our own video of the thing, right? It got 11,000 views in 2 days. And then YouTube shut the video down. Why? Because they claim we had a view counter. Now, if we have a view counter, why doesn't Sarnetter have a view counter? He got more views than us in 1 day on a video. Why doesn't freaking whoever else out there that has a video 1 million views, how come they're not getting strikes on YouTube or whatever because they don't have a view counter? A view counter is something where you can, it's a program or whatever that you can make your views double per view. So instead of when somebody watches, 5 views goes on instead of 1.
Oh, I see.
Right? But it's not really real.
Right.
That's why, YouTube is, cracking on people who have view counters. Like us. All of our videos are 500 videos. This one video has 11,000 and then we have a view counter. Right? But the Taj video with 30,000 views, that doesn't have a view counter. You know what I mean? So when we go into this realm, social media and upload realm, you're not dealing with people like for example, like I do classes on Tuesdays at my house, right? And then we put those online. But that's not the only stuff that you see. They got stuff when I went to Pittsburgh, that's online. Got stuff when I went to New York. Got stuff when I went all the way wherever. Just got stuff with just going to the store. It's not just this view that they want to create, that, you know, when it uploads, they have the, you know, the beginning thing where the words come spinning in and stuff like that. And then an eagle comes and then drops the bag of videos, and then it opens up and then the videos tumble out of the back. That's virtual world. That's not real. If somebody thinks that, okay, well, because this guy has a good intro on his video, that he's somebody that's credible, that people are warped. Because again, it's virtual, no different. Like we said, that's why we use the example, because people always do it. They'll show you the picture. Oh wow, this is a beautiful sister. That's glass you're looking at. What are you talking about? That's a sister. What do you mean? Like, where are you at in your mind that you think that's a sister? That might be an image of a sister. That's not no sister. Especially if they can take the sister's picture and then, you know, make her skinny like this or whatever like that. You know, fix her eyes and make her eyes green and give her freckles and stuff, and you think that's real? So then why is everything else being looked at as real when everybody knows that those things are illusion? Right? Again, you have Vlad TV. We had the Outlaws video on our YouTube channel. Right? In the Outlaws video, they were talking about how Tupac was naming all the outlaws. And then the last outlaw named Noble, Tupac wanted to name him Noble Drew Ali. And he's like, nah, I can't take that name because whatever. They got a little laugh like, haha, you're funny, or whatever. Now, we took that clip out of that, used our FBI, you know, because, you know, we have fair right usage, that we could use any video or whatever, you know. We're not selling it, we're not, you know what I mean? Take the video, upload it to our channel, and guess what? Vlad TV complained to YouTube that we used his video and the video got taken down. Now, I've seen people use Vlad TV's videos before. How come he didn't complain on them? Like, why is he complaining on our video, but he never complained on nobody else who re-uploads his videos? Because those videos are still there. From what I've seen, they're not. So what's really going on? Is this really him trying to put out information, or is it really just a campaign against Moors, keep niggers, and not knowing about their nationality, birthrights, or whatever? That's why they can have Professor Griff on there, because he doesn't talk shit about nationality and birthrights. He calls people black every day, all day. He's not telling these people nothing that they don't know. Lord Jamar, he's not telling these people nothing that they don't know. I mean, he might. Black people created everything. Some black people be like, wow, we created everything. No, you didn't. Black people didn't create shit. You know, black people created nothing. What black people made something in the world? Well, you know what I mean. So if I know what you mean, why don't you say what you mean? And why are you going to use a platform that gets 50 million views a day to spread that people are not what you mean? Well, we're trying to meet them where they are, but okay, well, if that's where they are, then you need to get the hell off YouTube and tell these people go do something with their life. Instead of playing them on this freaking treadmill that they're getting something with this status that doesn't mean nothing, which again goes back to this same clown right here, who, again, you know, he's talking shit about people aren't citizens and people aren't nationals and certain people can't make you a Moor or whatever. But he's a black guy. His name's Dane. Dane comes from Danish. Now, I saw him, right? He doesn't look like glazed with jelly inside him or whatever. But he's Danish though. And people are going to go with him as real. He's really talking what he's talking. Go check his page, you know what I mean? He got videos up, thousands of views on them. But he's Danish. What's Danish?
Denmark.
Okay, so aren't Denmark people Dutch? That would be Dutch, right? That would be that would be who they are. They are not Denmarkians or whatever. Because Danish is pastry. Danish is not some people somewhere or whatever. Danish, you can go to Second Cup, get a Danish. So we're listening to a Danish tell us about some conscious something or the other, and then we're taking that for real. He really knows what he's talking about, but he's calling himself a Danish.
But Grand Sheep, he has a video, I think I sent it to you, $5 Indians.
Yeah.
That thing is fantastic.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, okay, agreed, he's misguided, he has a lot of things he doesn't understand, but it's like with every human being, you have certain things, you know the truth, and then in other areas of life you're confused, you don't know the truth. So,
but only in virtual world do people who don't know the truth speak what they don't know, and then people run with it like they know something. Just like you said, he did a $5 Indian video. Yeah, all right, well, you know, thanks.
But that thing is fantastic because that helps you show people their birthright and their nationality.
I don't. If people want to go to their birthright and nationality, they're going to go RVBeypublications.com. That's where we send them. We don't send them to these clowns.
Most people are not intellectuals. Most people ain't going to RVBey.
That's not the people we want.
Can I make a...
No. You want everybody because it's everybody's birthright.
You're not going to get everybody. Everybody's not waking up to this birthright. Look in the room.
Can I make a
comment? Matter of fact, you've been here since 2008, 2009. You've been around from the inception. How much people you know tell you about their Moors and their ones, they stand up on birthrights and all that? But not too many.
But what I'm saying is in ancient civilizations, the information is available to everybody.
Yeah, it is.
Not everybody's going to grasp it. It's available.
It's there. But you have to know where you're going to get your information. It can't be, we want the truth, but we're going to go to the liars to get it. Because the liars are telling it, so we'll go to them to get it. Well, why don't you just go where the truth is paramount?
Over the last 500 years, we had no choice but to go to the liars to get it because the truth was, we couldn't find it anywhere.
No, the truth was more around. The truth was more around back then than it is now. The truth is in the open now. Nobody can say they can't have truth now.
But a lot of stuff we get, we go to the Christian church to get it, we go to all these places to get it.
Yeah, again, we go into the liars.
Now we have RVBey publications, so there's no excuse.
There's no excuse, which is what the point is.
Ignorance. There's no excuse now.
You don't have to, you don't, especially when, you know what I mean, it's like when they put out that video with Prodigy, and he's talking about Illuminati and everybody knows about it and whatever, right? What's he telling you? Yo, this is me telling you this. Like, I'm Prodigy. What do you mean you're not going to listen to me? Name me a whack song that I made. Tell me a whack song that I made. Name one whack song that I made ever in the whole history of Mobb Deep and all that. You don't have any? Okay, so then why are you not listening to me? But if you choose not to listen to me, then you're a clown. Because it's me telling you. It ain't no different than with when we first started with this up here, right? When I was a black guy, when I was Negro, black, colored, African, Rastafarian, let's go back to Africa and all that stuff, everybody would call me to come talk to their youth program. I didn't have enough days in the week to deal with people. Because everybody was like, yo, oh, I heard you guys brought Black Dot on here. Oh, you know, could you come do a program? Because we heard you wrote a book. Okay, yeah, sure, let's do a program. Oh, you guys brought whoever here? Okay, could we do a program? Yeah, no problem, let's do whatever. All over the city, east, west, Brampton, going to jails, whatever. As soon as we start saying that we're Moors, no calls no more? What do you mean, how come? Like, this is me, yo. You guys just yesterday you guys called me and say let's go do whatever. Today I wear Moors, now you're not calling? And I'm supposed to say, yeah, those, oh no, it's alright, you know what I mean? You know, you guys stay black, you know, it's cool, you know. Right? Can't take those people serious no more. I can't take them serious no more. Because we got the real. Nationality and birthrights, we got the real. We've been to courts out here, we've been to stores out here, we've engaged people out here, we've had too much situations out here to know that this is real. That this is where it is for the salvation of our people. If they don't want it, then, you know, that's on them. But don't come at me like, you know, people have this new thing of, you know, again, in the virtual social media world, whatever, they have this thing of, you know, they'll send you something until you send it out.
Yeah, broadcast.
Oh yeah, send this out. Oh, black guy just got shot, send this out. Yeah. Well, hold on a second, but you're LB, why the fuck are you sending me this? You're LB. What do you mean the black guy got shot? What? Like, what do you mean you want me to send this out? Stop sending me some BS. Oh, what, you had a bad morning? Or no, I'm not black. Like, why are you sending me black stuff? You're LB. You're sending me black stuff, telling me about sending this out to some people? That ain't real. That's virtual world. Only in virtual world does the folly exist. The folly doesn't exist in real life. Just like when we say big up to Joe Budden because he was beating up Vlad hard. Because like you wouldn't dare bring your camera after you set up your little BS beef with somebody. Okay, dude pulls out a gun, clap somebody. You gonna be Vlad TV at this guy's funeral? Off the stuff that you set up? You know what I mean? You know, because we was talking about how Vlad was the initiator of the whole ransom Joe Budden beef. And Vlad started that. Talking about stuff that you shouldn't be talking about in the virtual media world stuff. What are you talking about people's stuff? What do you mean? Me and you have a sit down, we're at your house, you know what? Reddy's full of shit or whatever. And then I taped it and I tell Reddy, hey Reddy, let's do a show about what's going on in Hamilton or whatever. Alright, yeah, let's do the show or whatever. Now, oh yeah, I got this clip right here, you know, we're just listening to this live, we're talking about Hamilton, but listen to this clip, listen to this guy talk BS about you or whatever. What do you think this guy's gonna do if the stuff live? What do you think he's gonna do? He's not gonna start talking BS about, what do you mean this guy said this or whatever? This is the thing that these dudes, you know what I mean? And again, it goes back to the thing, it goes back to the Sonetter culture, right? Because when we check VHS, Sonetter was STFU, run the camera. You didn't comment and making comments and stuff like that. You didn't give it no input. Go back, get the VHS. Forget the DVDs that they put out. Get the VHS stuff from House of Consciousness. And tell me how much times you hear Sonetter's voice after, yeah, this is House of Consciousness, we got Love there, he's going to teach us about whatever today. Thank you very much. And then you don't hear from him again until, yeah, that was, if you want to contact, you know what I mean, the House of Consciousness at the bottom, and then that's it. Now all of a sudden, because it's a virtual world now people can, you know, be somebody and make a name for themselves because, you know, I got 50,000 views, so 50,000 people are watching. Now these guys got counters. Well, 50,000 people are watching that BS. And if 50,000 people are watching that BS, lets you know the state of our people. More reason why, you know what I mean? look at all the social media stuff like that, like crack, meth, or whatever. Take the detox once in a while. Don't be doing lines every weekend, you know what? Maybe every 6 months do lines. Don't go nuts. Because you're only going to end up damaging yourself, because, you know, the most terrible thing to waste is a mind. And people take that lightly. You know, they think, you know, this is not doing nothing to my mind, I'm watching it and all that stuff. Oh yeah, keep thinking that. Keep thinking all those little commercials and stuff in the middle of your stuff coming up isn't some brainwashing that's going on these platforms. You know, again, social media stuff. You know what I mean? No different. In newspaper, you could turn the page and not even worry about that. You have to deal with these people's stuff. Right? And again, you're dealing with people who more than likely, like if you look at, you know, like we used to say back in the day, like there's the people that would be the nerds. But the nerds weren't the stupid people or whatever, like the nerds are the losers. All these VladimirTV and all these people are losers. They could be somebody now. They can be important right now. Right? And there's no justification for saying that you're for the liberation of our people or whatever like that and talking down on the people who are doing the most liberating. Those people need to be hanged from a light pole. Right? Because it's blatant activities of the forces that are against our people coming into their right place and who they are. It's obvious that they're working with the other side. I don't care if they take checks or not take checks or whatever like that. The point that they're going this far to discredit using a platform that can be used. Like, you know what people we can wake up if people use their little YouTube whatever platform for real stuff instead of BS? Right? Think about how much influence, not even influence, how much would change if our people had consciousness on World Star Hip Hop. Think about when World Star Hip Hop came out, and then where we are today, and what they presented over that time frame. And where has that led our people? Because our people watch World Star Hip Hop. Right? Same thing we said with BET. Right? We were out here doing fine with our college radio stations. Right? We had you know what I mean? A little independent clubs, whatever, stuff like that. We can go perform and stuff as independent artists, sell CDs, whatever that. Where is that right now? Non-existent. Why? Because they let the foolery have a position. And when everybody acknowledge that it's foolery, oh, it's foolery but with a conscience. So it's alright, you know. We'll just let them do what they do. When they're causing the downfall of our entire nation of people using certain platforms. And again, it's not like they're going at the people who they should be going at. Right? What are they promoting? Brother on brother, some BS that they got some beef or whatever, 50,000 views. Some guy gets shot in the face. Oh yeah, that has 20,000 views. You know what I mean? Oh, we didn't come here from Africa. 0 views. You know what I mean? We're Moors, 10 views. Like, how is this matching up? And again, it's based on the people. So we have to take what, you know, like you're saying, yeah, we could learn something. You know, brother Casanova Bay says all the time, you can learn a lot from a dummy.
And that's why I think his statement is correct.
Yeah, you can learn a lot from a dummy, but don't forget that's a dummy. Don't get caught up that you're learning something. That's a dummy that you're learning from. Don't get it twisted because you learned something. That he's not a dummy no more. Right? That's not the go-to. That's not the inside link. Right? But they're using that guy as the inside link. If you say the Danish is where we're going to go to find out about $5 Indians, they can go to the library and learn about $5 Indians.
No, you're going to learn it there.
Right?
How can you go to the library? Who goes to the library? Who knows where to look?
And again,
the thing is right there, you click and it's there.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem.
That's the issue.
That's not a problem, that's an advantage.
It's a solution. It's a double-sided sword.
It's a catch-22.
Yes.
No, Brad, it's just like you said. I know that Vlad TV is a dummy. I know he's a dummy because I went to your classes. So I can discern.
But that's you.
Yeah, but if you can't take yourself to the library, if you can't take yourself to the library to learn about that, then why? Then
the library know nothing about $5 Indians. Where you go in the stocks, how you don't even know about it?
Right. Well, again, look at it like this. Like
it's a fossil way of learning. That's Stone Age.
Look at it like this, right? If the devil says godly things, he does godly things, but it's the devil. We're gonna take his stuff, knowing that he's the devil. Like we know that he's the devil. We know his intentions. We know that he's all about lower self. We know about, you know what I mean, murder, lewdness, everything that harms, nothing for upliftment of people, nothing like that, bestiality, whatever, you name it, the devil. But he says some godly stuff. How are we, the ones who are supposed to be intelligent, looking at, telling people, oh well, don't worry about God telling you godly stuff. We can use the devil telling you godly stuff because we see where you're at and you might not be able to embrace God's light or whatever. So, you know, take the devil's light because it's a little less light for you and you can handle that. Yeah, I mean, we might as well go jump in the grave with them. Because they're not coming out from that. Guarantee you. The people who, that's why we said, the people who think that they're going to go on some video or whatever and learn are living illusion.
Say that last part again.
The people who think that they're going to go learn something from some visual without going to the Stone Age, without going to the fossil to make sure that this is really what it is. Like you have to go to the source. Right? It's like we were talking about the other day we were at the studio the other day dealing with this brother, and you know, it's the same thing. Like, have you gone to the source? Yes, I went to the source. Who's the source? Dr. Ben. Alright. Well, Dr. Ben said ABCD page whatever. Well, I don't know if he said that. Okay, so we gave you the reference. You're not gonna go check. Why should I have checked? You should have it right now to show it to me or whatever. Like, what do you mean? You're the one that wants to know. I already know what this is. I'm not the one that wants to know. But the people who want to know, everybody wants this babysitting, you know. And then when that's not what this is right now. Right? This is, you know, wake up time right now. This is not la la, go to bed right now. This time, wake up time. Right?
I want to use myself for an example, just coming in.
Please do. Anybody else who got
something? For people who know me already, I won't call any names. But I was brought to the guy's house through my friend about this information, and coming in, I was bulletproof. I know information already, so that person was able to draw me in the way my friend got drawn in, like buying the papers and stuff like that. I kind of like overcame that because I knew stuff already. So from what you're saying, looking at that stuff, if you're not aware of stuff already, you might get drawn into the wrong way, coming into this. Like for myself, I was able to not get in that way. That, like, you know what I mean? There's a highway, there's two roads. One road leads you bad, and one will lead you good. But if you don't know, you just take the wrong road, right?
Like you ever for people who eat snapper, right? You ever see somebody who doesn't understand there's bones in snapper, right? People who don't understand that, you ever see those people eat snapper? Majority of these people end up choking on fish bone. Because they don't know how to eat the fish and spit out the bones. There was a few years ago, somebody in our family, a relative, relative in the family or whatever, choked on a fish bone, right? Had to go to hospital, emergency and all that stuff, right? Well, the bone was like they had tweezers to hold the bone. That almost choked this guy. A tweezers. A bone that almost choked her or whatever. They held it with a tweezers. A fish bone. So yeah, you know what I mean? You can eat all you want. You get as much knowledge as you want, because with it online, it's accessible to anybody, anytime, or whatever. But if you're looking at that as, oh, he said, oh, we're going to go to this guy because, well, his last 10 videos, he said whatever, so yeah, we're going to go with him. Then get yourself caught up. You know what I mean? And again, this is not like for us who know how to decipher.
Think for some
right?
one that does not.
We're talking about the people who don't know, which are the ones who need this info. They're going to be further off going through those platforms. You know what I mean? It's like even on the same show, last Tuesday show, a Moor called into the show that right now he's incarcerated right now. So he calls into the show. Yeah, how you doing? I'm calling from, you know what I mean, or whatever. I've been incarcerated. No, he said I've been kidnapped. No, I'm kidnapped right now. I've been kidnapped for the past 10 years. But I just wanted to let you guys know, thanks for your website or whatever, because, you know, going to your website kept me straight on, you know, whatever. And then, you know, other callers or whatever like that. If he's kidnapped, or whatever, if he's kidnapped, locked up for the past 10 years, how's he calling into shows and stuff like that? Like, how's he calling in?
You know,
freeway.
It's like
how's he calling into a show that's kidnapped? You don't have three out there.
You know, freeways?
Like, look at it like this.
Like you can call me out of prison, then I can make a third call. That's how we don't allow that.
That's all bonded. As soon as you do that, they cut off your line.
Oh, I see.
Landline that made that.
So, no, they do free call. I get it all the time. From East.
It might
we're talking about local or in the US.
What were you going to finish up?
We're talking about America.
Oh, you mean over there?
Yes,
okay, yeah. Okay. No.
Over here you can.
Over here you can. Okay.
I know military too. You can't do the mistakes.
Right, but this individual is behind bars right now, studying this info. No, he's somewhere else, yeah.
Okay.
Right? He's behind bars studying this info. Like, if he's behind bars, and he's behind bars and he's saying, oh wow, this info is beneficial. People out here have mental problems.
Did he try to free himself?
No, but the point is, like, from what
whether
I'm
he is, isn't, or whatever.
Yeah, I know what he's.
I don't know what he's.
You don't have excuse to not get it on there.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, just like we mentioned earlier, if you know who you are, wherever you are, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter where you are.
Well, I just wanted to go back to the statement that you made about nerds. I sort of felt that you would come at it from my perspective of what I see nerds as, Revenge of the Nerds, that movie back in the day. I see nerds as being Moors. Nerds are the people that are studying.
Well, that's what I was saying. Connotative, nerds were losers. That's why I said I didn't say studying people or nothing like that.
No, but you were saying that Vlad was a nerd.
Yeah, he's a loser.
Oh, okay, but
He's not talking about his mindset. I don't care about his mindset. He's a loser.
What does connotated mean?
Not the actual.
The story meaning.
Right. So.
Denotative is.
This is the actual.
Right.
I wanted to add to the part. They said about people they want to be told everything. On Facebook, some church sister I knew from back in the day, she linked me. She's like, "Oh yeah, I saw your post and Ray, rah rah rah." So I'm like, "Yeah." So he said she's interested about information. So I send her to RV publication the link. I send her to YouTube page here and then. So I kind of told her, and I send her some stuff like definitions and stuff. And I kind of gave her a little breakdown, and I'm like, but the rabbit hole is way deeper than that. You have to study to. As soon as I don't know if she was still typing, but as soon as I said that, she just said, "Tell me more." Just tell me more. I'm like, did I just say that you have to go study?
Yeah.
You think I'm going to stay online, stay here and type you like everything I know? You have to go and study. She's like, "Oh, just tell me more." I'm like, no, you have to go and study.
Right.
Our people, they just want to be entertained. Even in their learning, they just want to be entertained. They want to be like, they don't have to think that hard and be entertained, and they don't want to think for themselves.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling my sister, go and study. She's keep on telling me, tell me more.
Right.
I was like, wow.
And it's unfortunate that they're in that place, because whether we say black people, Africans, Moors, or whatever like that, we're the founders of learning. But we don't want to learn. You just want to watch some videos all day. You don't want to go to the library when we founded libraries. How have we founded libraries, but we don't want to go to the library? Right? It proves our blockheadedness as a people. And like when we were talking about up here, we can say whatever, but you know what I mean? Like when we go out there, if we're not fez, turban, whatever like that, we're nigger to them people. I don't care if you got nationality card papers or whatever like that. You go outside and you're not more, they're thinking you're nigger. Exactly. Unless they have a conversation with you or whatever like that to decipher. Exactly. But they're looking at everybody as the same. And then when we go out with fezzes or whatever, they're not looking at us like nigger, and they're going to deal with us according to how we present ourselves. Exactly. Which is not going to have anything to do with how they treat other people who don't have fezzes or don't have turbans or whatever.
It's like that Val TV, for more just wearing their fez on the street alone, it's better than Val TV. Just wear your fez on the street.
Say that again.
Don't even say nothing to nobody. As a looking like a so-called quote-unquote black man, wear your fez on the street.
Yeah.
Big commercial, if you wanna, whichever way you wanna, yeah. Just that alone.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So
I have to step on more, so I have a couple announcements. One, we're looking to have an autumnal equinox like a sort of feast or something in the next couple of weeks. I'm looking to pick a vegetarian spot. It'll be like there'll be a fixed menu or whatever. You'll just show up and you'll just bring your fiat to compensate for that. Secondly, for you and for you, Rennie, if either of you guys want to do a satellite thing, set up a spot, we'll come up to Hamilton or Oshawa. You've been trying to make that happen, but hopefully we can do that in the next month, if not Rennie too. Yeah. If you want to make that happen, we can hit the road one time in the next month and come out there, right? And the same for anyone else who's got spots, right? And then third, these two Moors here we're talking about plates, your right to travel plates. We have those. We have the template set up. We've got the paperwork set up. Part of the issue is coming together as a group and understanding that when we start moving out there, we've got to move in unison. Part of that, but unfortunately for a lot of us Moors, and I've been talking with other Moors about this, saying that on a perspective, if you're here 6 months and then you're not here again, it becomes hard to have continuity, right? Let's say you're here now. 5 years from now, when I still see you in the seat, then we're talking. That's where this is all at, right? So coming together from the perspective of let's get our right to travel plates. Once you do that, you're becoming marked, right? The colonizers are going to look at you as the person taking away their finance. So we need to come together, let's say we have a town hall meeting and we're all ready, especially those ones that are ready to do it. You're also going to have to take your conveyances, put them in the temple's name, and then you're going to have to, then probably what we should do is have a few classes, break down the paperwork that you have packages ready.
Can we do this immediately?
No,
that's part of the problem because
what's missing?
Well, what's missing, let's say, is the collective energy.
Like you said, like your hype,
right?
Omar's hype,
Lex's
hype, right. Certain other people that's hype. But then again, when we say,
so for example,
we're gonna check the back papers to see who's up to date, dues every month, whatever like that. Guarantee 80% of the people who say that their stuff is not going to go through or whatever, because after we talk to the secretary, we realize that they're behind 6, 8, 9, 12, 1,500 months.
Right.
But, so we're not going to...
Other perspectives behind that, too, were the fact that, let's say this insurance... Huh?
Okay, I hear that.
Okay, so that's fair. So that's right. So for example, we started off, we have a template of one plate, then we were looking to get 12 people together to put an order through to get the plates. We didn't even have 12 people. Then what happened was we started looking at this from the perspective that you want 12? No, I'm just saying that was just a number. We're just picking a number that's what it was to get.
Is there a special number you need to get?
Let's say it was 12. That's what we were gonna. That's the shipment that they were coming out, right? So we didn't have 12 at the time. This was like 2 years ago. Then we had to get the paperwork together. Then we had to start discussing the fact that we didn't need insurance, because the real scam is it's the insurance money. Right? It has nothing to do with your right to travel, because all of us have exercised the fact that most of the time they drop that bullshit driver stuff. It's really the insurance that they're getting you on, under the perspective that you're going to damage someone, and that if you ain't paying the insurance, that's where the real money comes from. So then we were looking at setting up sort of trusts where we might have to be paying assurance money, A-S-S-U-R-A-N, instead of insurance, assurance, because really all you owe is duty of care. So then you're starting looking at certain things like that, and then that's going to come with fiat and all that stuff. So that's where some of this came down to, because we realized people are here, but unless they're seeing that they're getting some kind of monetary something, people ain't coming. People ain't putting in the finance. As he's saying, they ain't even up to date on the $25 a month. Now you're going to ask a man to put in $360 to get the plates, and then
plates or whatever,
and then $200 a month, and then the whatever and the whatever. I'm not saying,
and not everyone can afford it.
No, but again,
that's not what he's saying. But he's just throwing some numbers.
I'm just throwing numbers out because ultimately, this is and we had this discussion a couple weeks ago. Look, this window's been broken here for 6 months. It's crazy. The sign is up there looking like whatever. Crazy. We're Moors. We're members of this. How many of us are coming in with what the hell's going on with the sign?
So. Can I say something? Yeah. If you're saying all that, so let's start something for the one or two that's interested in.
Yeah, but see, but that's what the issue is, because from inception, if we're gonna do something or set something up or whatever like that, you go to your chairman. Admin functions is right there.
Yeah.
That there's a protocol. If there's gonna be something like that, you know what I mean? Like, so, at the last town hall meeting, put it out there.
I was thinking about that.
At the last town hall meeting, put it out there. If anybody wants to meet, Tesba even set up. Hey, if anybody wants to set up meetings, call me or whatever like that. We can set up meetings. And then nobody's linking him.
So fair.
But
absolutely.
But that's
do something else.
No. Okay, well,
but it has to start with people
I have the
mindset.
floor now. Sorry for Joe.
Go ahead, Mark.
What we have to realize and what we have to understand is this. You, as an individual, represent the nation. You go out there with these plates and get your ass kicked, that's the nation.
Right.
They need to know, without a shadow of a doubt, you exercising your rights with those plates. If they roll up on you and say, tell me from page 1 to page 50, the Administrative Function Handbook. If you can't recite that book, you're fooling yourself. You're playing. 1 second. We understand that Moors want to get their plates. With all due respect, I want to get mine. But at the end of the day, if you F up on the road, it's the nation that is going to look stupid.
So this is the ministry of the driver's
you can't give someone a
why can't we just have
Again,
100%? 100%.
100%. No, but again, it's beyond the driver's book.
That's right.
It's
So for
beyond,
example,
it's the Zodiac Constitution first.
Yeah.
It's the divine constitution. One second. One second.
No, I'm discussing, that way I understand.
No, this is
No, but again, this is town hall meeting discussion.
Again, this is the
You know what I mean?
issue that we're having, is that the divine constitution is not being followed. The Zodiac Constitution is not being followed. And the organic constitution is not being followed by all of us. We cannot, without a shadow of a doubt, put ourselves in the public, exercising our rights when those constitutions are not being followed. With all due respect, Moors, they know about those constitutions. I've been pulled down already, and they've asked me questions in relation to those constitutions. They did not ask me directly, but they were asking me. There's a couple of Moors that said that they're ready to do this. They got pulled over, and they're calling me to say, well, what do I say next? Fuck that, I'm not doing that shit. You're supposed to know. And that's what I'm saying with what's going on. It's not that we can't do it tomorrow. We can't. Listen, I do it every day. Those driver's licenses, I'm not allowed to have a driver's license. I've been navigating since 2013 without one. They know that. They see me, I get pulled over all the time. They just let me go because they know who I am. The point is, until we have a collective of Moors who are able to exercise their rights without a shadow of a doubt, nothing is being done. Until the nation as a whole has the Article 7 of the Divine Constitution down pat, which part of it states, paying the dues because it's very important, nothing is going to be done. And we've been saying this for the past 2 cycles, two years now.
And we only heard about the dues from last month when you announced it, right? So it's not like
Okay, question.
I've been paying,
have you, no, that's fine.
Right.
Look, but question, the Divine Constitution has been around since 1926.
Okay, but also I think, okay.
Sorry?
Could start evaluating them more than a test.
Sorry?
Individual
No,
tests.
but that's again, Moors.
No.
You have to understand the position we're in as Moors. That everybody knows what we're supposed to be doing.
We wanna do.
Could we start evaluating like the Moors who are here that are up to date?
No.
Here's
what I have to say. We set down a protocol that said that if you wanted to get your nationality cards, you at least have to attend 25 classes. We felt that was a divine number. You might be able to count how many of you come to maybe now. It doesn't matter, but I'm saying ultimately, if you hit 25, you're going to have gained a certain amount of knowledge. If you gain 50, you'll gain another. If you gain 100, so all of these things, it's really not about the test. It's about you'll know this if you show up. You'll just know from how you're speaking what level you're at. You're probably let's say at a grade 9 level, let's say, out of getting to the university level, right?
This is what I'm saying.
Next year,
you're going to be pulled down. You're going to be pulled down. Expect to be pulled down 100% every day.
And this is this is
how are you going to navigate yourself through being pulled down?
But here's where, and I just
I wrote all the Constitution down.
Again,
right, but here's where I think this was part of the other part that I think
that's not the point.
This was part of it.
So Omar, let me finish. All I'm saying is this: the 3 constitutions that we have, I follow those to a T. I might waver a little. I'm human. However, those constitutions have to be followed. Period. And it's not. And that's where we are. Again, we started the Land and Transport Department 3-4 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
No, actually
3 years ago when
go ahead. But that one, the whole thing where we started to connect with the down south Moors, and they ripped us off.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Just telling you how that went. So just to give you, that was in-house. Right? You see what I'm saying? So just understand that this has. But sorry, so
There's
to finish off,
different
part of where our
dynamics.
other issue is, and we can revisit this again, and I'll talk with you members again, we had about 5 or 6 now, it looks like we have 9 or 10. We can get to that level. The next level though is, it's about all the nefarious nonsense that a lot of us people carry on with outside of that. So if we're gonna be traveling, exercising our right to travel, then we also have to be walking and traveling squeaky clean. So that means for the most part, you can't be being pulled down with a fez and a blunt and then be wanting to have some other stuff going on. Not to say that you know, or you can't be drinking, or you can't be speeding, or traveling recklessly. So part of where we have come from this act is understanding that this, at this point right now, is a huge sort of, let's say, almost a privilege, or something that we have to be very careful with. So, like we know certain Moors like you knew, that, you know, if they had this stuff back then, who knows what they'd be doing right now with that.
They had it back then.
And they had it back then.
They had it rocking big time back 5-10 years ago.
No, I'm talking about with these Brampton Moors, so I'm saying if they got on with some of the activity that could be construed, so that's part of where we're at.
That's part of why we're doing this shit.
If we're stepping forward properly, we need to make sure that they're gonna understand that there's a difference between the Moors, Canaanland Moors, traveling with their right to travel, than some guy who's gotten a plate and deciding to just want to escape from that kind of stuff. Because then what happens is it muddies the water. You can all see how we've been muddied by stuff. Well, and so do I.
I'll just finish up. So with the assurance thing, just to get to some commitment. Right. So we are going to study this a lot, astrology, whatever. Get us on that page where we put money into the assurance.
Well, that's what our plan was going to be.
No, but it's done now. So where we're serious, they put that in there. So while we're doing that, we're studying.
Okay, well, Morris, and I had no problem with that.
We're serious.
But this is where I'm kind of saying that.
We're not going back 2 years.
Right, but here's what I'm saying from part of that.
We're new.
I know what you're saying.
You gotta get to knowledge first. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here are 2 things I think we could do. Here are 2 things I think we could do. First of all, we could have some classes where we run down through those 3 constitutions. We could just do a run through of 3 classes where we just run them down. That could be something. And then secondly, understanding that manifestations of all of this stuff, as I said, you look at the temple. The temple represents who we are. So if our temple's like this, now and people aren't even paying the $25. Now I'm expecting people to put in.
No, but go by faith. If 2 people do it,
we're living in faith right now.
Good, exactly. I'll do it.
Let me say something more. We're going to stop this right now and move on to the rest of the class and put this on hold. Be happy with
or you can just get a test and set up your.
A lot of this is new to probably a lot of our attention.
So all right, so that but again it goes back to that thing though.
Like it's proper time.
Yes.
Everything should always discuss that is a problem. Because you cannot fix a problem with solution.
Okay, well look at this.
You still don't get what I'm saying.
You see what happened was this was supposed to be a few minutes. Here's what it is. This was supposed to be a few minute announcement to then out the door. So
and then now it's going and going.
So here's what.
Call the town hall meeting.
How are you guys supposed to be on the same page if everyone's on the same page? You can't skim through something. So sometimes you want to say something for 30 seconds, people don't get it. That's why it's getting
but it's not for here.
Stop it at more than 30 seconds.
It's not for now.
It's not for now.
Because it can't be for now.
Call the town hall meeting and we'll discuss it then.
Or how's this? Here's another thing. Or here's another thing.
Call the town hall meeting and we'll discuss it.
Here's another thing.
Class could be the town hall meeting.
Or next class could be a meeting, could be a class on right to travel.
I mean,
we could have,
but it doesn't have to be because there's Canaanland Moors video, 4 hours talking about what I learned right to travel.
Right, but I'm saying
people could go watch that for 4 hours instead of us going over the same stuff that I'm going to be going over that's in that video that's been online.
Which is fair.
It's not new. Same stuff. It's not going to be no new information.
We're always going through stuff over and over again. We are always going through stuff over and over again. So there should be nothing wrong with hitting it again.
But hitting it again with regard
to new energy here right now that obviously hasn't been there for the 4-hour one.
Yeah, I wasn't here 2 years ago, man.
Huh?
I wasn't here 2 years ago.
So I'm just saying, I don't know, but you're right. Maybe how's this? So let's hear this here.
It's up. We're going to call the town hall meeting to discuss this issue with the right to travel.
I don't think we need to call one right now.
No, but okay, that's fine. I understand that, but as Elder Noor was stated, let's continue with class and then we'll deal with that.
But let's give a quick fix here. Why doesn't Cujo give the link maybe later tonight? He can email out what that link was.
Well, I just said what they could go on the channel.
Is that what it is? Right to travel thing?
I watch it all the time.
Is that what it is?
We got
Search right to travel.
I read it all the time.
Is it right to travel?
I even have the books in my
Check
bag.
out the right to travel. Give up the right to travel thing and then
Tell me something. Give me a reference.
I got the books in my bag.
like we say.
I was on the top. You see that?
Like we say, if we can play around with whatever we play around with, or we could use what it is that we got. Right? There's like particular subject matter relative to us that is always the hot topic. That's just what it is. Right to travel is one of those subject matters that you're not getting no class in no right to travel. It doesn't work like that. Like there's no class to teach you how to right to travel. Right to travel is go to put the key in, put the thing in, and then you. That's right. Like right to travel is not some class.
But breaking down some of the facts, or not some of the facts, but some of the salient points could be part of that.
And it comes back to that thing that if they are really on it like that, they'll be on RVBey publications. There's a driver's license fraud section. They got driver's license fraud books. They got about 50 classes by Taj on right to travel on YouTube, but they want classes on right to travel. What is it? Like, if you want to know it, it's there. The info is out there. You got marriage fraud. They got marriage fraud. If you don't know how to get out of your marriage, whatever stuff that is, right? Like it's all there. But again, if people have specific subject matters inside of nationality and birthrights, it's for them to go study that. It's not about like we're gonna do like we were talking about earlier. If the mind's not matching up with the material, then it doesn't even make sense talking about it.
It was something simple. I even tell my son too, when I'm traveling with him, and we might step it up, whatever we do. I said to him, you see, when I used to have insurance, I don't give a, I'm going. Because it happened, okay, they have to pay. If price go up to, it's okay, it's happened to everybody. Insurance rate. But now, we're supposed to in a different frame of mind to be more careful now with what we're doing. Right. Not because you have the right to move down the road and do what you want to do. So it's a combination of things we need to put together and get ourselves together personally, or to face what we're going to. Because I'm over 50 odd years and I never got this, bro. Don't expect me to take, oh, it just come out and give it to me. I just get a gun, give it to me. We don't know training. We don't know training.
Exactly.
I might shoot myself in the foot. Exactly. Let's look into the real dynamics of what this
what it's about.
And not just because it's ours and give it to me, let me go.
Right.
We've been waiting for a long time, man. We can move on and, like I said, continue. Yeah. Because if we don't stop, we're going to be here all evening on this topic.
Right to travel.
This topic.
Because that's how it goes.
The other side practice that too. You're in control. That's all, everything. If you have a knife, it's care and control.
That's what I'm trying to
Anything you have have to have respect for it.
Exactly.
That is a care
but
and control.
when you are insured, you don't care.
You
because
care.
No, I'm telling you, I've been in the car business, bro. That's us. It's just back to him. Hold on. It's just back to you, brother. Where you conscious of that, but not everybody. Not everybody. You hear what you said before you come into this? You have a lot of knowledge before. That's your experience. Not everybody.
That's right, I know that.
Not everybody. So we got it. Just don't fly, just like I said, train to use this gun.
Right.
Train to use
You should be
because we always have a gun, but we never care how we use it.
Right.
Most of us. The biggest thing here is, oh, insurance will take care of that. My price will go up, but it's okay.
If you have more knowledge.
Because no matter what the insurance rate go up, if you still pay, they give it to you. Your report so bad on your record, and it goes up to $1,500 a month. You have it to pay, they will take it from you and give you the insurance.
But the insurance don't cover you cover the other guy that you damage. That's the next part.
You're missing the point.
You're
missing what I'm saying. You're missing what I'm saying. Because you're only focused on what you're thinking. You're only focused on what you're thinking and not the wide thing of what I'm saying.
And again, with you know, the same idea that the subject matter is nationality and birthrights. Everything comes out of that. There's no subject matters and then birthrights. Birthrights is the subject matter. And whether it's taxes, driver's license fraud, birth certificate, whatever, marriage, whatever, it's coming out of the nationality and birthrights. So to limit ourselves to this subject matter is limiting our studying. Because we're not seeing the full scope of what it is. We're looking at this issue. But that issue is not really what it's about. It's really about the broader scope of, this is about nationality and birthrights. Half the people who we know say, well, I want my own plates and I want my own... They've been exercising right to travel already because them license probably expired that they got. Or they have no insurance. Or whatever. More than likely, they're already exercising right to travel.
The plate on my conveyance is from another car.
Right.
The motor blow up, I just switch plates and keep rolling.
Right.
Keep rolling.
You know what I mean? You know, because...
That's the mindset you need to have.
It's the set of mind.
Yeah, and I'm just being careful because you don't touch me, I ain't touching you.
Right? So, yeah, it's things that need to be addressed and touched on. But again, if you go watch the right to travel demonstration, in there, by the time you get to the end of the 4 hours, you'll understand why we haven't done nothing yet. It'll be very clear why we're waiting. It's going to be very clear. Just like we said, you think that you're whatever like that, well, go to Canaanland Moors, you can go on the playlist, watch the Back to Basics playlist. 30 videos on there, 2 hours each. Go have your fun. You don't even need you don't even need no classes from us if you got those 30 classes right there. Same thing that Omar was saying. Right? By the time you get to this, then you should be on the level so that whatever. But people never get through it like that. People get through it on their own time. Today they might watch a class. Then tomorrow you might have some other Moor out there that, you know, he doesn't sleep. All he does is study. And then you look and then you see him pull up one day and then he has his own plates and stuff and you're wondering, how did he get that and how did he do that? Oh my God, that guy, how did he make that happen? Studying. Forgetting about, you know what I mean, the material first. Like, let's have this thing right here. Okay, well, you can't have what you don't know. If you don't know it, don't think you could have it. Right? If you look at it in the sense of finance, like, you know, you have people caught up in things like this thing of, you know, pay somebody, fix their credit, or whatever like that right now, right? From you, man, rule across the whole family or whatever, if you can't buy it 3 times with cash, you don't need it. Because you're not going to go get credit to go buy it. Because credit's only going to put you in debt. So forget credit. If you can't pay for it 3 times, you don't need it. Name it. Well, I want Aki and Saltfish. Could you buy 3 of those right now? Yeah, all right, then enjoy. You know what Aki and Saltfish you want? A Lamborghini. You could buy 3 of those? Nah. So why you even go in there? Well, I could go over here and these guys are going to give me 50 million and then I could get 5. That defeats the purpose of having it. What's the purpose of having it if there's going to be stuff attached to it that's going to not have you free after? Why you finance a fridge when it's going to cost you $800 to pay for a $400 fridge by the end of it? It doesn't make no sense. Same thing with info. Same thing with this school of thought. That there's information that is accessible to everybody. Anybody can find out. No secrets. Once you for yourself get to that place in your mind, then the things are going to start coming together for you to get what you want. It's not happening before that, no matter how hard you try. Like we said, Brother VladimirTV was here from 2008, right? Last week, called me, say, you know what, you gotta come back or whatever. Because last 2 years, I've been checking some stuff from before that you guys were talking about or whatever like that, and yeah, I think everything's real, like I'm coming back now. Because I know it's real now. Before, I was just going with it because you said it, Taj said it, Tuna said it, sounds good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds good. Yeah. You know what I mean? The way they talk, the way they walk, they're really Moors. But did you check for yourself? Probably not. After we had checked for yourself, 3 years later, it's coming back now. That, yeah.
And that's one, brother.
And that's one.
Good. And then for me now, when I get into the knowledge, I know I was born like this. That's what I said to myself. I don't have to double check. Any double check now is for another higher birthright and nationality that I don't know about. Simple as that. I don't even need to double check. Birthright and nationality.
Now, with regard to
no need to check.
With regard to Danish.
Sir, before you go on, yeah, I just want to say my experience too, because you see, like you just said, you heard about it 3 years ago, right? But it took him a while to actually get up and study himself. For me, I'm a person, if you tell me something, I want to call you on it. You know what I'm saying? I want you to show me proof. So when I seen it was actually first touch bait in your video, I said, okay, this is Canada, Canaanland. Let me look at the Canadian Constitution. And I seen everything was real. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I just looked at it for myself and seen it, because you guys give references, okay, free to travel is this. You're telling people where to go, but we're not getting it. Yeah. You know, and you're telling me exactly, go look at the Constitution. You don't have to study nor I was going to another video. Right. Google it. You know what I mean? It's right on Google. Right there. It's like paragraph this long. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't take you 3 years to read a paragraph this long. So we gotta take it upon ourselves, stop being so lazy. Yeah. That's what it is. Lazy. Yeah. You just want to sit on your ass and press enter. Yeah. And press buttons. That's what it does. And unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, people are gonna suffer because of them people. Right? No different than people are suffering right now for the Moors who said $5,000 for a package. Mm-hmm. Nobody's getting nothing sealed now, unless you don't check with secretary to see if your stuff's up to date. Because those guys, it wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? Bring your papers. You guys come with papers like, did you just seal these? All right, you guys are members or whatever like that. Ain't no big deal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right. And then same guys who got the papers like this stacked up, they're selling them for $5 grand. Oh man. And then we sealed them. Okay, so you know what I mean. If the people are you know frustrated at you know what I mean the lack of movement and whatever like that, hunt those people down. Kick those guys' asses because they're the ones that's slowing you down from getting your stuff that you deserve. Right. Going back again to this guy, Dane Calloway. The reason why we're say nip it in the bud is because of where this always goes when they start this thing of attack RVBeypublications.com, right? Right. This is the finish line right now. Why we're saying that either you're going with God giving you the God stuff, or don't even look for anything godly, because it's probably not God giving it to you. Mm-hmm. Right? After the little video talking to BS, they gave a link
to their website, right? Now remember, they were talking about, you know, some of the key things that they were saying is that watch out for Moorish Science Temple of America and people like RVBey Publications, because they say that they're going to make you a citizen when they can't do that. They're saying that, you know, they can change your status when they can't do that because, you know, they're a 501c3 or they're owned by the corporate United States, so they don't have the authority to do that, right? But at the end of their thing, they're going to send you to this link, right? Many people have reached out to me concerning correcting their current status from those fraudulent, non-existing, uncomplimentary status codes like African American and Black, for example, due to their personal discovery that neither term may be any standing in law. This entire situation is very important because not only does either of them have no standing in law, but if a person has been identifying themselves at such terms on any documents requiring their information, i.e. employment forms, driver's license applications, governmental documents, that will inadvertently classify them as undocumented immigrants. This was explained in full detail on more than one of my YouTube videos already. So let me explain what is provided that we assist those along with their relatives with this matter. Please note that I am absolutely not providing any legal advice whatsoever. I've compiled a well-researched educational package that covers important legal information regarding you correcting those matters from start to finish. Now remember, the matters that they're correcting is their status. That they're not Black, African American, or whatever. But the guy doing it, his name is Dane Calloway. Which means he doesn't have a corrected status. So how is he who doesn't have a corrective status is convincing people through his YouTube videos of 50,000 views or whatever that go to him to get your status correction, don't go to RVBey Publications, who really are Moors, who actually have a status that's on the public record, have gone to courts, have gone to all these other places with their status on the record, beat cases, beat whatever like that, and they prove that their position is more legitimate, right? Documented stuff that they can show, right? This individual, who hasn't been around since 2008, 2009 or whatever, has nothing to show that his thing that he's selling to people, 40 bucks, you can pay 40 bucks and then he's going to send you the package, right? The package, you don't know if this package works. He's not giving you any reference points. He just came around in 2016 and he's telling you about 40 bucks for a package that's going to correct your status, and you're going to take this and go to these colonists with this package and expect them to look at you like you know what you're talking about?
And when the bottom line is not even, we're not even supposed to be correcting status. Because it wasn't right in the first place for you to correct it now. We never get it before. Claim it now is not correction time, in other words. Put it this way. It's claiming what is ours that we never got. So it's not like we get it with half black and then we are correct it to full grown or full black. No. The status what we get wasn't ours at all. So now it's not correcting it, no, it's like claiming what we never got. Claiming.
Right? Now, status correction, right? Status correction we would assume would have to do with something relative to law.
Yeah.
Right? Now remember, they said that this is not legal advice. But they're going to sell you a package having to do with something that has to do with law.
Yeah.
But they're not giving you legal advice. Right? How are these people credible? How is something that they have going to benefit our people when they're claiming their self that what they're presenting has nothing to do with legal information? This is just for educational only. So why are they paying? Why are they charging people? Oh, because you're really buying information. You're not buying status correction. But again, dumb niggers who don't study, who aren't intellectual, who have no faculties in their mind have to do with anything like that, they'll think, oh wow, I'm gonna buy this and then I'm gonna put my name on it and then whatever it's gonna happen. Now I'm gonna be free. Whatever it is, yeah, that they think that they're gonna be. Right?
Like him, man.
Okay? Don't forget they have a disclaimer too, right? Disclaimer. All information provided on this website and throughout the contents of this page as mentioned above is strictly served for educational purposes only. Dane Calloway and I'm just here to make you think.com has no affiliation with any of the content and links, templates, authors, publishers, sources, or information provided throughout the contents of this package. No liability assumed for use. The information you obtain in this package is not, nor is intended to be legal advice. A full disclaimer is also present inside of the package. The package that automatically sent to your email includes, but is not limited to, legal information on correcting your status.
It's not legal information.
Legal information about your lawful rights before and after. Legal information concerning person, U.S. citizen, and taxpayer. Benefits and legal information of person and a sovereign. Beneficial public servant questionnaire form. Detailed instructions and certified sovereignty forms. Legal information on rebutting all tax collections. Legal information on divorcing from the United States. Legal information on terminating a driver's license. Instructions on how and what to send to the government. Instructions to prevent all false presumptions. Legal information on correcting identification cards and passports. Legal information on legally rebutting social security. Right? So they're not providing legal information, but
all those things they said is legal.
All those things are legal. Right? And again, we have the obligation to make sure that our people get the truth about their nationality and birthrights. If there's somebody out there speaking from a perspective of nationality and birthrights, i.e. status correction, the license has a problem with it, and whatever like that, they better be Moors.
But I would touch on that quick. I was on Facebook and it was a Moor, I'm not going to speak on no names or nothing, but he was speaking on, he had a Skype lecture, it was going to be a Skype session on how to correct your status. So I just messaged the brother, I'm like, hey, I don't want to jump in on that, you don't get me in on it, you know? So it's supposed to be like a forum or something, like a conference or something, you know? So the brother message goes, yeah, this is my email, whatever, message this brother. So he refers me to another brother. So I messaged the brother now, who claims to be a Moor too, you know, because they're going to have this Skype lecture, how to correct your status. I'm like, hey, brother referred me to you, you know, he's saying you guys are going to have a Skype lecture. Let me get in on the conference, you know, I'm studying, I want to, you know, maybe we can relay some information to each other, you know? He goes, yeah, just send me 125 notes. Via PayPal to PayPal.
And then he can get on the forum. And teach with them. Right? You're paying them to go on their forum to teach about stuff. Right? So these are the things.
Watch out, Moor.
I mean, yeah, these are the things that the online jurisdiction creates, right?
Yeah.
This quicksand,
illusion,
right? This illusion that you don't have to do anything for your birthright, right? There's nothing you can do. You could just pay a guy or just www.birthright just sitting there waiting for you to download it, right? It doesn't work like that. This has to deal with you wanting to free yourself from mental slavery. If you don't want to free yourself from mental slavery, then it's going to be slavery forever. That's just what it is. Right? It's not anything to do with Moors and whatever like that. Go around the world, ask anybody. If they want to not be enslaved, they go back to the cultures of the ancient foremothers and forefathers and start implementing those things. They're not going to Europeans, they, can I get a grant or whatever like that? They're not doing none of that. They corral amongst themselves, put their little finance in, whatever like that, and then they have a mosque. Oh, they come around themselves again, put it on that, then they got convenience store. Come around themselves, put their little finance together, then they got whatever, and then they buy everything next to each other. So then, and then after they have 5 of those, or I think if it's 5 blocks or 5 blocks or 8 blocks or something like that. Now that qualifies as like their, you know, jurisdiction. Right? This is why they always have their stuff next to each other, next to each other, next to each other. When you'll see, you know, the jerk spots over here, the barbershop down there. These 2 guys are cousins, but they're over there. And then this other guy has a store selling whatever.
Bakery,
bread or whatever, right? He's 5 blocks up there, but he's the brother's uncle of the guy with the barbershop. And they never thought put their money together. And how about we just buy this lot of 3 spots, which is going to be cheaper rent because, you know, we're getting a bigger space. So the rent's going to be cheaper because it's not just one of us putting in the spot, it's 3 of us. Then we split the spot. But it doesn't register with people who don't have a mind to do that. Which again is why the brothers from the east that Noble Juali said are going to come to help us or whatever like that, that's why they're head of NDP right now.
Head of what?
NDP party. You know, Sikh just took over the NDP party. Right. Okay? And then when you go to the liberals, they got a Chinese guy that's in that.
And you know what, to add to that? My Chinese buddy there. We're gonna share his place now. So I'm gonna have a shop.
Oh, the same one?
Yeah.
Alright, proper.
You just wait for me to bring in a compass. The same. That's one of the brothers from the east.
Right.
Or whatever. It's like, you know.
And, and then also too, speaking on that, just talk about quickly the relationship that was built with the past landlord and how that whatever went with the past landlord and then this new landlord, because you're telling the old landlord same thing, I'm more whatever like that, and they dealt with it on a certain level. Now this new individual who's a brother from the east now that you told the same stuff to that you told the other landlord, how is it different? The interaction itself.
It's like a night and day to begin with, because this guy now, when I tell him about the East Chinese ancient people were looking like dark-skinned people and round face, whatever, we talk about it. Yeah. He said, yes, I know that. So I say, you know that we are like family bloodline from way back down the road. He said, yes, I know that. And I asked him about these black people, what do you think? Because if he said, no, that's they thinking they are black, and they're not black. They're not black.
That's a Chinese man.
Chinese man. Right. So that makes me and him connect more than anyone else, and it's like, he understands who I am, and he knows who I am. The other day he tell me, now why don't you, instead of you over there, just come and share here with me and you, we run this place. I'm going to bring in the product them to install them in the car, you install them, and charge to install them. I provide them. I bring them in, and you do the work, put them on. You charge them, I charge from the cost of my stuff.
No. Prior to that, when he was dealing with the European landlord, the same compound, there was quote-unquote black.
It's just the opposite, like different numbers, same year.
So-called black mechanics or whatever.
All of them.
Not one of them said, bro, come in our stuff. We see that you're having problems with this landlord, he's being a dick or whatever. Why don't you bring your stuff into our shop and let's help you out. None of them, not one
dark-skinned individual said, let me help him. But then, Chinaman, right, probably has accent and all that stuff. You know,
oh yeah, because I tell him he's got to
like
teach
that.
me Chinese, he said it's,
right?
You know, yeah.
Right? He's telling the Moor, come share my spot.
Yeah.
I got enough room for 2 people here.
Okay, and now after I leave there, I have an Armenian buddy that I knew for a long time, 20 odd years. So now he's sharing a shop, like partners with the Italian one, both of them. Me and the Armenian one, we get along very well. The other one, not so well sometimes, not very good. And I try to push my knowledge, be myself every time around him, whatever. But I know he knows something more or important I am, but he's still trying his ways to make me, you know what I mean? So now, we've been back and forth and we've been good and been whatever, but what I'm trying to say is the most problem from these 2 people that not my people, the other one, we not so good, but the other one is very good, the Armenian one. And I understand they run away too from their problem with Turkey and whatever to come here. We have our talk. And we can understand. But this one now, there's a car that came in there maybe 3 weeks ago. This week just gone, 3 weeks now. Whenever they have big projects like those, technical stuff, they always give it to me. Because I can roll over it like nothing. And now this other one coming, it's one of them Datsun, 280 Datsun, old car. It's not so bad. So it's easy now. He's trying to keep it back. For him and they told them share that job. They want me to get into that piece because I would walk over it in no time and create big finance out of it. He's trying to hold it back. Now, what happened, last week we talked about it. I told him, you know what, during the time I'm making plans with the Chinese, that they don't know what I'm doing. They don't want, the only time they might know is if they go online and watch this. They will know. Because I never talk about it to them. And I set my thing with the Chinese, and now Monday he told me, Monday I'm going to let you start it, no matter what, you got to start it now, because if I wait for him, the guy wants it, it's not going to happen. Monday I started it. Thursday I reached to where I do my stuff, ready to prime it up, and there's a little piece to patch, 4 inches by an inch, right when you take the windshield out of a car, that piece that you don't see down in there. You got to put a little patch in there. I can do it, but he wants to be the man. Okay. Friday, is it Friday I was there? Yeah, Friday I was there, and I had to go on the road with my little boy to drop him off. Payday Friday. So he was at work with me. So I take him to his mom to go home now. And I told him I need this thing to prime because the weekend, long weekend, I want it to dry, so Tuesday, whatever, I can just finish it up. 4 inches by 2 inches supposed to patch it. When I leave, he start whining and complain and say, make sure when I put it now, I hope you're going to prime it on the weekend, I hope it's going to whatever. That's the story I heard when I come back. He started to weld, and he now tell me that when he welded to a point, there was a little piece left. And the phone was ringing, and he welded it. And he go to the phone, on the phone. When he look around, the car is on fire. The car is on fire. He goes with his hand and slap the tape where I tape the area for the windshield and burn his hand middle. When I come, I see him come back from the hospital, his hand, water bump inside of his hand. And I'm saying, this to me, I don't know how to determine it, but you know when they talk about karma, an instant one? Yeah. Instant one? This hand maybe need another 2 weeks before it works. For real. While the Chinese man is waiting for me over here. So, and it all comes from who? No Bajwali the Prophet. No Bajwali the Prophet that bring this to us and can see with your third eye, get to know what's coming. That's why with this plate thing here now, if you dig deep and know yourself, this is like a breeze that comes to you because it's like it's in you, but let it out, let it come out, and you know what I mean? You just don't see the plate. Oh, make it look like, oh, that's nothing. That's from a long time. Actually, we shouldn't even have any. We shouldn't even have any. Just a roll like, I know, like how we used to roll from a buggy cat, you know, the horse wheel, a roll. No, yeah. Yeah. That's the kind of inside we need to have. Not just this plate when they come in. And my ancestors never used to have plate. It's just like me I tell my mother talk, I say, Mama, Jesus was Yahshua. Him dead gone 2,000 years ago. Anyway, when if you know say them changing name to Jesus over here. Behind him back. Behind him back, then changing him as in God. Here you go. You get what I'm trying to say, bro? Islam. Yeah, man. So that's what happening here now with the shop and the China, everything. It just unfolding. After I've been beat up so bad from my other place, and now it's just stay being you.
Vibes is good.
Yeah, just keep.
Yeah. And it's a China man too.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, man.
Brother K, we gotta get the first time Fez testimonial.
Yeah.
Because let me just lead you up. Let me just lead you up because once again to bring up Brother Casanova Bay, he had started a series with Moors who were around him. Every time they order the Fez, you know what I mean, it'll come through his house or whatever. So whenever the Fez will come, he'll have the camera set up at the door or whatever. And catch these guys coming in, you know what I mean? Here's your box or whatever, you know what I mean? And get them, you know what I mean? Holding the box and, what is it? Oh, this is the, and then they open the box and then they get the, so, yeah, right? So there's the box testimonial. And then there's the put on. There's two different. There's two different testimonials.
I don't got on the box. I got on the bag.
Oh, you got the okay. So the bag, yeah. So the bag testimonial, and then the put on testimonial. Yeah.
Honestly, when I see them bring it, I can't describe how happy I was. You know, because the English language is so limited. So it doesn't really fully express how I feel. I couldn't even tell you. But now they didn't even believe me when I said I started, looking around and touching it and seeing certain things. I actually felt something. But no one really believed. But I have more of a connection to the universe thanks to Noble Ali and the teachings, right? So it's not just I know something, I start to feel something. Feeling something is when you start realizing things happening. You know what I'm saying? So I believe my third eye's open, so I connect everything. Trees. There's times where I'm thinking about something, I swear to God, my word. I go outside, open the door, wind's blowing, thing came to me. Yeah. Exactly what I was thinking. So I know how connected I am to nature and vibrations. I know all these things. Right? That's just me. But I'm just saying, when I got this, it's like, wow. I don't know how sheriffs feel when they get their badge. Yeah. That's exactly how I felt. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. No more, because I don't have to explain certain things now, right? Yeah. Even with the turban, some people might think the wrong things with the turban, right? But this is connotated me, this is denotation. You know what I'm saying? You know the difference.
And what about the put on? The put on was the put on right? Because I know you didn't get the home one where you get to be in the mirror, you know what I mean? Put on your favorite dashiki, put on your favorite dashiki.
See if I was put on the turban, you know what I mean? Trying to find a style for it, you know what I'm saying? Find my own way through it, right? But it's an amazing feeling, man, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is.
Trust me. Real. I already put in my order because right when I see them, I'm like, next.
Like, there's a lot of different religions with turban, right? And but fezzes, there's not.
It's a different plane.
You know what I mean? There's no question about it.
Like I was saying this morning, this Englishman in the line, know me. Right? Because of that. Yeah. Because of that. Even if you weren't here then. No, I think I said you were here. Yeah. Natural thing. Same.
Right. So. Oh yeah, you got your fez on. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. So what's up? What's it different? What's it like? Nothing. Been here before.
Natural.
You already know what's up. Like, what? What do you mean?
It's like that.
It's my birthright.
You think I'm like your age, who you're telling you think I'm your age, but you think I get that bird. You get it when you're fully grown man.
Straight up. For all the online question people, we're gonna Tuesday we'll deal with the laundry list of questions that we had, because today we got a little caught up. But any questions or anything else pertaining to today or whatever?
You wanted me to mention something today on
Oh yeah. With regard to the idea of, I think Brother Osiris was talking about it, that people just wanna be led. They want the leash on them, and they just want people to here's the information, whatever. They don't want to do anything for themselves, right? People who are like that are the ones who get gained by people that don't, quote unquote, because the example that we used was toil. People who don't want to toil, but they want to get some finance, right? Like we can, like you don't have to ask no questions. You look at Noah's hands, you know that he toils. Like you don't have no questions, right? But there's a energy going around now that work or doing some type of active whatever to bring in finance is not what Moors do. Moors are just supposed to, I don't know, do nothing and get stuff or whatever, I don't know, right? Yeah, right? Now, if you're homeboy, right, 39 a package, right, say $40 a package times, say 5,000 people subscribe to his thing, right? If everybody said, okay, yeah, we're gonna get a package from that guy because he's the guy for whatever like that, right? No toil, but he's getting something. Now, put out little information or whatever like that, but I don't think he deserves all that for the information that he's putting out. He ain't put out nothing to say that he's qualified enough to say I'm gonna sell a package or I'm gonna whatever, right? Now there are people who have put in the work, and rightfully so. If the work was put in and somebody needs assistance with something, then yeah, you can assist them and you'll tell them whatever. If that's a service you provide, it's not going to be off the flip. You know what I mean? Guy just leaves a comment on YouTube. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm looking for information. Here's my email. Send me email. And then somebody's like, oh, email this guy. Yeah, what kind of information you looking for? Well, I'm looking for information on. 500 I can give you, whatever like that. That's not your link or whatever. That's not your. You know what I mean? You didn't promote, and then that's one of your clients coming to get a service. You're just trolling people's stuff and trying to grab so you can hit up whatever. So, what was it? In the week? It was this week, right? I mean, it was in the week that you messaged me. Yeah. So, Randy had linked me one day saying that he's about to go to work or whatever like that. Certain Moors don't like to toil or whatever like that, and then he gave a reference point to justify his toiling, right? So like opposed to a reason why I shouldn't work, oh, I'm tired, or knees hurting today, I can't go. You know what I mean? Last night I was up late, you know what I mean? I'm not going to do nothing today or whatever like that. Found the reference point where it's worth the toil. That the toil should be going on. So I just wanted you to read the enlightenment or the revelation, so that when you hear the not work Moors, they don't want to get a job and You know what I mean? That's the slave master, and I work for him, we work for ourselves and all that stuff, so we're just going to sell a package instead of go get a job. Guess what toil,
So it's out of the
the
Holy
importance
Quran.
of toil.
It's on page 37. It's Jesus teaches the common people at a spring. He tells them how to obtain eternal happiness. And it's just a little parable that I took a quote out of it. Jesus was in silent meditation, sat beside a flowing spring, and it was a holy day, and many people of a certain caste were near the place. And Jesus saw the hard drawn lines of toil on every brow and every hand. There was not a look of joy in any face. Not one of all the group could think of anything but toil. And Jesus spoke to one and said, "Why are you all so sad? Have you no happiness in life?" And then the man replied, "You scarcely know the meaning of that word. We toil to live and hope for nothing else but to toil. And blessed day we can seize our toil and lay down to rest in Buddha's city of the dead." And Jesus' heart was stirred with pity and with love for these poor toilers, and he said, "Toil should not make a person sad, and it should be the happiest when they toil. When hope and love are back of toil, then all of life is filled with joy and peace, and this is heaven. Do you not know that such a heaven is for you?" And the man replied, "Of heaven we've heard, but it is so far away, and we must live so many lives before we can reach that place." And Jesus said, "My brother man, your thoughts are wrong. Your heaven is not far away, and it is not a place of meats and bounds. It is not a country to be reached. It is a state of mind." So that just corresponds with people toiling out there and doing their slave, whatever you want to call it,
right?
So
for the Moors out there, you know what I mean, who, whether it's for yourself or for the European or whatever like that, right? If you don't look at toil as some hard work or whatever like that, because you're supposed to be most happy when you toil. Why? Because you're providing a service, which is the most humanitarian thing that you could do. And real toil, not, sell a package toil, write a writ for somebody, I'm toiling, oh my gosh, this writ was so hard to write, I'm so tired from writing this writ, so I toiled. That's not toiling, because it really ain't nothing to write. You know what I mean? It's really not that serious, and if it's your writ, you should be toiling on your writ. Because, that's your ritual that you're putting on. You're saying you're going to pay somebody to write your writ for you. And then when it doesn't work, you're going to say, oh, the stuff didn't work. Well, no, you should have wrote it yourself. It would have probably worked. No different than people who, they write a writ. Well, I think this writ is good. But can you just check this to whatever, see if it's whatever? Like I told Lexa, you trust your writ? Yeah? So what do you need me to read stuff for? If you think that your writ's the Bob or whatever, what do you need me to double check what? Check what? You know what I mean? To put what in there?
What's it?
A written instrument. You know what I mean? A document. The other thing too, there's obviously it's going to be up on the site. With regard to these individuals, again, just to put out some excerpts from this, so people can be clear as to the position. I'm just going to read the last page of this. It should be up on the site. RVBey Publications is not a 501c3 or any derivative of the same. Much of the slander is based on the false piece of information. Yet, you can check the state or federal records for those who have 501cs, and RVBey Publications will not come up as having one. Simple. The Dun & Bradstreet number, which was assigned by the federal administration and not at our request, not even at our knowledge, was given to protect them in business because they write checks to us for prisoners who order book materials from us. We actually thank them for that. However, it does not mean that we have a 501c3, etc. The slanderers and the haters' additional motive is to get you in a slave status by any means necessary. So the objective of sending you to rvbeypublications.com is for you to go to all those tabs to eventually get at the end
where you make the decision to proclaim your nationality, get your nationality card or whatever. In no way, shape, or form, whatever like that, does RVBey Publications deal with status correction, name correction, cards, anything having to do with nationality birthrights, other than teaching it. The process of it is through Great Seal, National Association of Moorish Affairs. Nothing to do with RVBey Publications. Alright, so it's a separate entity that deals with the whole get your nationality card, not RVBey deals with it. Alright? RVBey Publications does not have employees. That misinformation is based on probable assessment by analysis, corporations who do not know. They are somewhat different from an actual firm, an actuarial firm, of which we have not given any information regarding operations or finances to anyone, so there is nothing to actually report, and that means such reports are speculations and fraudulently accurate. So for example, they made this thing about Moorish Science Temple of America is, you know, a corporation and it can't, you know, do the things that it's saying because it's not a nation and it's a corporation or whatever. Now, we know as Moorish Science Temple of America that there's a religious corporate perspective. The religious corporate perspective is how we exercise with our temple, that it's non-profit. Being that it's non-profit, it has no connection to CRA, federal, Canada, government, whatever. Nobody's not sending us stuff to send in a paper so they can know what our finance, whatever like that, because we already said in the order when we put our name to them that this is how we're going to be exercised and don't expect anything other than how it is that we're doing it. This is just what it is. And they were good with it. We're still here. There hasn't been anything from them saying we can't do this, we can't do that. If people want a business number, we give a business number, they can go check, see if it's registered or whatever like that, right? RVBey Publications is not a part of an MSTA incorporated out of Philadelphia or anywhere, except for our association with MSTA, Eglinton Avenue, Ontario, North America, Canaanland, who is not incorporated as a 501c or any derivative thereof either. That brings to the clearing up of Prophet Noble Drew Ali's work as a civic organization with a Rotarian complexion, and the intent is to make its members better citizens of the association itself, as citizen means member. So the objective, the idea that they have is that Moorish Science Temple of America makes people citizens, right? And they're saying because it's a religious corporation that's 501c3, it can't make you a citizen. The only way you can be a citizen is by birth or naturalization, going through the process, so U.S. can make you a citizen. But if Noble Drew Ali said that we're Moroccans born in America, then that makes us citizens because we're born, right? Are we citizens of anything created by some European? No. Are we citizens of corporations? No. But we are nationals, being that this is our land. We are nationals, being that North America is part of the Moorish nation. So citizenship really doesn't apply to Moors, like in that way how they present it. Even though you might read Noble Drew Ali say citizens. Every time Noble Drew Ali said citizens, he said American citizens. Now, you know, America is a continent. So technically, Americans shouldn't, you know what I mean? It's no different than Africa. Then somebody says Africans, and then you look at Moors, they well, you guys say you don't like Africans or whatever. Yeah, we don't like Africans because there's no such, because it's a continent, right? But you say American. Well, American is not relative to America. American is relative to the people that were dark-skinned, that were in America before Europeans came here. Nothing to do with citizens, nothing to do with government, nothing to do with anything like that. So when Noble Drew Ali says we're American citizens, saying we are the people who were the dark-skinned people that were here before Europeans came here. And we had our own stuff going on as far as government that these people would say is citizen whatever. But he wasn't really saying that we're American citizens like United States of America, we're citizens of that. Because we have our own jurisdiction that we're exercising as Aboriginal and Indigenous people, which is not going to go into this whole aspect of citizens and all that. It's only going there based on the corporate mindset that the people have, that if you say nationals, they don't know what you're talking about. You say nationals, they're thinking, you know, the continent, Saudi Arabia, you know, these guys have the red plates, those guys are nationals, but, you know, people here can't be nationals, all right? Preparing them to come out in the world and take their place among the affairs of man, able to think themselves back to the families of nations, which will not happen if they too think they are citizens, members of the United States of America Corporation. He did not mean to go to any municipality or state to incorporate any MSTA or to erect one as a municipality, as all municipalities are Roman venues for Roman citizens. So this is why we tell you that don't get caught up in Hamilton, Toronto, whatever, whatever. As soon as you say city of, automatically that's corporation. If it says municipality, it's a Roman venue. Only when in Rome, do as Romans do. But if you're not in Rome and there's Romans, you don't do what Romans do if you're not in Rome.
Yeah.
You do what the Aboriginal people do. You don't do what the colonizer does. You do opposite of what the colonizer does. Right? You don't excuse culture, vulturism. Eliminate it, especially if it's your culture that they're vulturing. You know what I mean? Because guarantee, you're not going to see that many quote-unquote Asian entertainers, whoever like that, on Vlad TV. You'll see that one Asian guy who doesn't have a tooth or whatever like that, shot people, went to jail and stuff like that. He'll be on there. But you're not going to see, you know, Jaguar head or whatever corporation that's quote-unquote Asian on Vlad TV. There's no need for them. Even if they got information for people, they don't need for them to go on that. For what? There's going to be no benefit to them. Right? So know that as much as we think that it's a city out here and a province and a country, and then they have a prime minister and members of the parliament and all that stuff, all there is board of directors, right? They're presidents, prime ministers of corporations, has nothing to do with actual land, it has to do with only on paper. And as soon as you see people trying to convince you to not be your Aboriginal and Indigenous free self, but somehow get something or tie yourself, or in order to be somebody, the colonizer has to be involved in your affairs, these people are about to sweep you under the rug for these colonizers. Your own. People who look just like you are going to be the ones doing this.
That's the one.
Now remember, Dan Calloway, he's a brother. He's not a European. But he had nothing to say about SPLC, Southern Poverty Law Center, talking negative about Moors. He didn't touch that on his channel. He has stuff about Moors on his channel. Anti-Defamation League. Europeans again, talking BS about Moors. You know what I mean? Moors, zip the lips. But, you know, Jabbar Gaines addressed it, who, one of our teachers, addressed these people. Nature Al-Bay suing the Asbury Park Police Department for them violating Moors' rights over there. You know what I mean? Right? Not trying to side with them or trying to get whatever. Sue them. What? They violate your rights? What do you mean go file some paper or get them to put some seal on some paper for you to be whatever? Right? RVBey Publications, who is, again, not only from the dark-skinned side, but even from the European side, are one of the Moorish publications that get the most attacks, right? This is happening because they have to be doing something right. Has to be something that they're doing right in order for them to be the ones that attack. Because remember, like, you know, Dane Calloway, he's talking about Moorish Science Temple of America Inc. Moors know that that's BS. Those dirty Moors. That's not no Moors that we say are credible or they're somebody. We talk BS about Moors that are 501c3. So he ain't nobody. He ain't bringing out no information. Oh, Moorish Science Temple of America, I caught you. You're 501c3. We already told people that. That's not no news. But again, muddy the waters, create this reason for people to think that, you know, what we're talking about isn't clear, but then he has, you know, the clear stuff for us, for our people. And that's not really what it is. Again, like we said, you know, with Vlad TV, why complain on our video? And why is it would our video be the one? You know, I mean, he put it up, it's his stuff. Left the thing in there and everything, so nobody can't say, you know, we're taking his stuff or whatever like that. His logo's right there, it's his upload. But could it really be because we took that one part? All his videos, hundreds of videos he's got or whatever, millions of viewers that subscribe to his channel, one video talking about Noble Drew Ali. And Tupac's connection to that. Who all these people out here listen to, rap people who watch Vlad TV, you know, they love Tupac, Dear Mama and all that stuff. They know him well. But that one thing about him naming this outlaw, Noble Drew Ali, as his name, to be on the album that's gonna, millions of people are gonna listen to, you know, they're gonna complain on that. The other one, why we're even on Ustream, back on Ustream, because we had a video up of a European out here telling her son's sick, she went to the hospital, she's telling everybody pretty much, is there anybody here that's Canadian? Everybody here has brown teeth and they don't look white, and I need a white doctor because I don't trust nobody here. I need a white doctor. Going around the place. Is there any white doctors here? How come there's no white doctors here? Everybody has brown teeth. The only Pakis are here or whatever like that. It's a European lady, right? So we upload the video to show that, you know, Canada's not some lily white, whatever like that. They got KKK, racist people up here too. Don't get it twisted. You hear that, oh, the Moors got it easy in Canaanland because you guys you guys don't get arrested and kidnapped and stuff like that. Oh really? Right? You think that KKK up here? Right? So we put up the video and then we get a strike from YouTube for putting up the video because our video was harassing and bullying somebody.
Yeah, that's what they said. So what about all those racist ones?
Oh, yeah, the ones that are still up. Yeah, they're still up right now.
They're still up right now.
Wait, those are still up. But ours, we got struck, you know what I mean, with you know, a strike, and then because we got a strike, now we can't stream, you know, because we violated the policy of the community standards of the YouTube community, right? Right? The virtual world, the fake world, the city, the municipal Roman venue, that's only on paper, it's not really, but it's a community though, so we could violate the community standards as members of the YouTube. We got our stuff struck down or whatever. So we can't stream until January 1st, 2018, just so you know. for a 2-minute video of some European lady, right? And then that's also the reason why I didn't even play Buddy's stuff. Because I already know that as soon as I play his stuff or whatever like that, and then he gets wind of we're making a mockery of him and using his stuff to show his effery, he's going to make a complaint or whatever to you too, just like Vlad did, just like Sonetter did, just like all these people who are against this information coming out, right? Trying to stop, you know, a tsunami. It's not, you can't really stop tsunami once it starts.
Vlad made a complaint about one of
yeah, the
videos?
Yeah.
That says a lot though.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
But it's freeing people. But it's freeing people though.
Getting somewhere.
I hear you.
You know, if Vlad's gonna shut us down or whatever, then we must be doing something right. If Dane Calloway's gonna talk BS about RVBey, we must be doing something right. Yeah. People talking crazy about Tosh Street Bay, he doesn't know what it is, he doesn't know law and all that stuff. Yeah, he probably knows law. And they're trying to get people to divert their attention. And again, like we always read. Like we always read. These are trying hours now, dear Moors. We'll close out with this. These are trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving, and they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid, and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. But if you have the true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you hear or see, but will sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your profit. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet and ridicule him to the very lowest, and the ones that speak against your divine and national principles of your temples. Right? Because Dane Calloway again was saying that Moors don't have any Moorish law that they're bringing people under, so why would you be part of that, because they don't have any Moorish law or whatever. But they're not going to talk about, you know, United States Constitution coming from the great law of the Great Peace, which is indigenous Aboriginal Moorish law. But at the same time, we already know people don't think, people's minds are warped, and unfortunately they're going to be victim or subject to other people who really aren't in their best interests as far as trying to liberate them. So again, you know, we put it out there. Don't believe nothing that we say. Make sure you fact check us 5, 6, 7 times before you say, oh yeah, those guys said something. Make sure you fact check. And once you fact check and realize that this is what it is, then like what Noble Jawali said, you better defend this with at your very life being on the line. Defend this.
It's like even the Christian people and the United Church, you remember those people? The same guy there, what's his name, Kevin Annett?
Yes.
That's the one that, he's one of them that dig up this truth for the native. He's the one why they get this benefit right now. He's one of the...
Yeah, one of the main people,
and they, like they say, they spend $250,000 to kick him out of the church. Yeah. Because he's coming with the truth.
Because he's telling them the truth about
the
same church.
The newspaper today, we show it again, see, you know, this is what it comes up to. $8 million, $800 million, whatever dollars they give to them.
In 60 schools.
Yeah,
and that's a European guy.
Yeah.
That's a European guy that he's a pastor and he didn't like what they're doing in the church. And he started to speak out and they get rid of him, but then these guys...
He showed the thing.
Yeah.
You saw the movie.
Yeah.
The documentary.
Yeah. Right? So, you know, and keep in mind too that, you know, all these things are supposed to be, you know, little subtleties to let the Moors know that the world is looking.
Yeah.
These people that's been claiming to be whoever it is that they are for so long, right? They're halfway painted into the wall. They're halfway painted into the wall. right? There's no escape for them right now. All they could do is yield to let the so-called brothers from the east, who aren't our brothers, you know, because they push a little race, you know, those are the yellow guys, and then, well, we have nothing to do with them, but don't worry, trust that our brothers and sisters from the east are here, and they're taking over. If you haven't noticed, just look around you.
In Jamaica?
Look around you, everywhere around here. These people, Chinese, Pakistani, Hindustani, Arabian, Turk, whoever, anybody who's not from America that's coming over here, recognize that they're taking over, right? Use the seat being the head of NDP right now as a sign that it's over for these people. Their own party now is being run by outside people that agreed to be here and be Canadian, to get their little benefit, to get their little whatever it is that they're getting right now, that they're going to use wave and get all their people to be like, yeah, we got a guy in office or whatever. And then more are going to be like, oh, how come we don't have one? How about we just do our own government? Well, we need NDP or more with a fez on to say that they're liberal.
That's
Makes no
oxymoron.
sense.
That's oxymoron.
Right? How about we be our indigenous self? Since brothers from the east are here, and again, we have that example of, you know, we have more different people who have engaged these people, and they've told Moors, like, we've been waiting for you guys to wake up. How come your other people don't want to get this information or whatever like that? How come you know and they don't know? Whether it's the same people, Europeans, Pakistani, Hindustani, whatever like that, all of them know that the one thing that has to happen is our people being where we're at. But if they don't choose to be where we're at, don't worry. They're going to be, you know what I mean, they're going to be embers.
People are afraid of people in their lower self.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, for instance, if I leave my house without a turban or a fez, people still react the same way towards me.
Yeah.
They'll see me. As soon as I wear my turban, hey, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, for instance, the day I got my turban.
How long was that you got your fez? I must ask.
Just no. I just got my fez today.
Oh, you mean with a turban back then?
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, without either or. You
Yeah.
don't wear them, right?
Yeah,
Like, when people look at you, like, oh, still in his lower self. Without talking to them, you know. But as soon as I put this on, we were beside a subway and there's beer people like the Sheikies and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And then with my boy, and everyone's like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this where the temple is? Joshua, I told you this killer everything. It's like, everyone act like they knew you. There's a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's it, like,
Wait till the festival.
hey, how you doing? You don't clutch their purse, you know what I'm saying? Without it, it's like, they're afraid of you.
This is where when you got the camera going, you got the archives, you can set it over, we could.
Alright.
You can put those up. You can put those up. Right?
Oh, I gotta start filming this.
Sweet. Any questions, little bro? You good? Yeah. Alright. Sis? Alright, yo. So, yeah, we'll close out. Like we said, we're working on the autumnal equinox feast. So that's gonna be next couple weeks or something like that. Just keep close to the email or whatever to hear where that's gonna be. Yeah.
Quick question. I'm planning to go take a course in a pre-apprenticeship college, and to pay for that tuition, I'm going to need OSAP or whatever they call their funding.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask, like, is there any advice or anything you guys would want to let me know before?
Only thing, the reservation of rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
about
about it. That's about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you know, if you go OSAP, they want social and whatever.
Yeah, so
you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
you know what I mean? But those are the you know when they talk about grants and assistance for the indigenous people or whatever like that, and then we go research and ain't nothing out there about grants and assistance for indigenous people.
Right.
Yeah, that's OSAP, that's You know what I mean? All these little grant, bursary, whatever, go to college, get a 500 or whatever like that. That's where all those funds got funneled to.
Wow. But what they do is they attach loans to it. So it's not necessarily.
Yeah, it's not. And that's it's not. Right.
They don't give it to them as a grant.
Yeah.
No.
But you still can't.
But that's what it is, though.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like they're pushing it. Yeah, they're pushing it as it's a loan, but it's supposed to be a grant because it's education.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not supposed to be we're loaning you money and you're gonna pay us back when you get a job or whatever. That's not.
I remember way back.
That's not what it is.
Further back, they used to they give it all one shot to you, but now they kind of break it down.
Yeah, they break it up by semester.
Because I know way back, maybe 20 years ago, guys that grab it.
Yeah.
Not a college, no college, straight to Florida.
Yeah.
They don't go to no school.
Yeah.
Straight to Florida, they're gone.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And again, you know, when we look at, it's like when we go to you know, our old school, you know what I mean, the old stomping grounds, or whatever, you know what I mean? And then you have youths in there like, you know, we run this school or whatever like that. Shut the hell up, you guys don't run nothing, you know what I mean? How come you guys can't go in that door right there? I don't know, that door's always been locked. Yeah, because us, when we were here, we got that door locked.
Yeah.
We made them put that friggin' island across the thing because we used to be going across the street to the store all the time on break. Not you, so same stuff. You know what I mean? Certain things that we did, we are like, it's because of what we did why things are changing up. You know what I mean? It's because of Moors going to court why court stuff is changing. It's because of Moors all rights reserved why people can't reserve their rights now. They have problems. They're going to try and reserve their rights. You can't even, people tell you at the door, you can't do that, right? Yeah, we're not letting you do that. We're going to tell the president, come down and talk to you or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's just where it's at. You know what I mean? So, the work that we're going to put in, that already caused the change, you know what I mean, is really where we're at with this. Because we've been doing it, it's documented, it's on the record, you know what I mean? And we just have to continue to bring ones in that are on the mindset, because it's not going to work for anybody else. No. It's not going to work for people who are sometime Moors. You know what I mean? Like either you're Moors, or either you're not going to call people black, or go call people black. Take your fez off, take your turban off, and go be niggas. Like, don't tell me about, you know what I mean? Yeah, we're gonna do a class about Moors and you got no fez on and stuff like that, no turban or nothing like that. Come on, yo, let's go. Right? Yeah, like, I mean, it's only right. It's only right, yo. Especially knowing what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's long to all the Moors. Don't forget, keep here to the street with regard to that spot. We're gonna do our little Moorish dinner or whatever. So we're planning on getting somewhere, you know, where we can get the, you know what I mean, the table or whatever, some buffet or something, and we just go and take over a spot for some hours. You know what I mean? And as well, we have the newspapers. We have some here. We have a little pile right here. We could probably divvy out the pile amongst everybody here, so everybody has a little bit. But we have bundles for sale in 50s and 100. There is a price on the papers, so if you buy them, you can either sell them or you could give them out, whatever you want to do. You know, any papers are there. Any announcement, Amari, or
no?
Straight? All right.
I also wanted to
ask
us as a collective, what are we trying to do moving forward in terms of getting our stuff in order? As our secretary said, we're not following certain rules. Yeah, we're not keeping up with our dues, and there's other things that we're not doing as a collective. So, if we're trying to make progress and move forward, let's maybe we could come make a date for that town hall meeting. We could really figure it or start to figure this out.
Yeah, and just get at again, get at brother Tesba. For all the people who are in the temple, that's your chairman. So, make use of him because he's there.
Tesba?
And his Tesba, yeah.
Mocha's son. You know Mama Mocha? Elder. You know what it is. When you see him, you know what it is. You know what it is, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. All right.
Did everybody fill out the attendance book?
All right, so no other questions? Everybody's good?
Yes,
my brother got a pen. So yeah, so let's just close out.
I just found it.
Yeah, we'll close out and we'll get the. Face the east. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, Father of the universe. Father of love. Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector. My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. To his holy prophet. Noble Jew Ali. Ashe. Somebody